हेलो हेलो हेलो, क्या हाल है सबके? हाउ आर यू डूइंग? बहुत सारी बातें चल रही है, मैंने देखा यहाँ पे कुछ एडवाइस भी दिए जा रहे हैं. सो हाउ आर वी ऑल? नेपट्यून, आदर्शा, रुतवा, आयुष. सबके हाउ आर यू डूइंग? सॉरी, हियर वी गो. यस, ऑल राइट. सो hello. You know the agenda for today. Okay, I can see you all here. A lot of you have come in. And because it's going to take a little bit of time, I think we should get started ASAP. Good morning. ठीक है, so let's get started with our practice paper analysis. I think पहले मुझे आप जल्दी से ये बता दो, how many of you have tried attempting this practice paper already? How did it go? Was it easy? Did you find anything challenging? अगर कुछ challenging लगा है, have you taken notes so that you can ask me कि आपको क्या doubt है? जल्दी बताओ. Good morning. Hi all of you. I am very good. Nice to see you all here. Okay. All of you have attempted it. Not easy. Chalo, we'll figure out what you are confused about and how we can make it easy, okay? So let's get to it. Here we go. This is the instruction given to you in the beginning of your paper. You will have 3 hours, maximum marks 80. 15 minute मिलेंगे आपको पढ़ने के लिए. So Ayush, it's okay if you didn't see the paper. We'll do it together right now. It's not very hard. We'll figure out. It's very easy actually. Come on. So the 15 minutes that you get, you can use that to read your reading comprehension passages. You can use that to go through the paper, whatever you're comfortable with. And there are 3 sections you already know: reading, grammar and writing, and literature. And you have a mix of objective and subjective questions. Okay? Okay, so let's start with the reading passage. Let's quickly read it together and then we will answer the questions, okay? All right, very good, Tanishq. That's the spirit. And Achinti. Okay, all right. So stick around. I've written some literature answers for you that you can read. Okay? All right. Srinu, it's okay. You have the paper right here now, so we can do it together. ठीक है, वरना if somebody has a link with you, then you can post it in the chat also in case you want to open the PDF. Okay, let's go. This is our first passage, the discursive passage. Let's read it. I'm reading it out loud for you. History in general remains an endeavor to search for the truth about the past in a contemporary light. The search is done by examining the treasure trove of a documented past. This also holds true for the history of food. Cookbooks have always played an instrumental role in researching the history of any community. The roots of recording the history of food are nearly as old as the history of writing itself. In the East, Meng Shen of Tang dynasty recorded the origin and usage of every food consumed in the court. In India, mythology mentions that the oldest and first ever book on cookery is Paka Darpanam, the mirror of culinary skills, written by King Nala. Cookbooks are a guiding light that can take one on a journey of understanding traditions and culture. Scholars in the past also believe that cookbooks are a source of information not only to understand social or gender-specific roles, but also material factors such as trade and network. So what could be considered a cookbook in our modern society? It has been noted recently that there is a surge in the number of infotainment and documentary programs about food. Recipes are no longer just about cookbooks. In fact, a new breed of Indian culinary experts are cooking their way to celebrity status, and they are achieving this via social media. As they demystify Indian cuisine and offer step-by-step guidance to creating mouth-watering Indian dishes, these talented men and women are inspiring a lot of Indians to pick up their ladles and try out various recipes in their own kitchen. The social media chefs are here to stay. No longer does an amateur home chef have to struggle with trying to understand what exactly the recipe instruction means when it says things like the batter should be pouring consistency. Now one can see the chef demonstrate on video what exactly pouring consistency ought to be like. A lot of people use these recipes that were easily available on social media to get through the COVID-19 pandemic. Cooking, which was considered a necessity at the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdown days, turned into a recreational activity over time. It also functioned as a tool to improve people's psychological well-being. This gave them a goal-oriented behavior to engage in, while also being a way to connect with others by sharing recipes or posting pictures of their creations on social media. Thus, documenting recipes online is the modern version of authoring a cookbook. Okay, that was our, okay, before we get into the questions, let's quickly understand the gist of the passage. The gist of the passage was about cookbooks, okay? How over time, first they were documented on pen and paper or whatever they had back in the day. And now it's being done online, on social media, through videos as opposed to written recipes. This has made cooking accessible to a lot more people, easier to do for a lot more people. And chefs these days, because of the visibility that they have kind of become like celebrities because we watch them everywhere on TV, on shows, on social media, documentaries and whatnot. But the thing is that these cookbooks are not just meant to pass on recipes to people. They've also given us a lot of insights in the past and will continue to do so in the future. In the past, they told us a lot about the kind of foods that were consumed in a certain place, which gave us more insights about the trade network, the kind of spices or food materials that were available or grown in a particular area, and also told us about the society, what it was like, what it liked to consume, and what the gender roles were like, who was usually found in the kitchen. Okay, so this was the gist of the passage, how cookbook is more than just a way to tell a recipe to someone. Okay, ठीक है, समझ में आया? नहीं समझ में आया तो एक एक क्वेश्चन जब आंसर करेंगे तब समझ में आया. Okay, Achint, got it. So here, ठीक है तनिष्क, आप क्वेश्चन पैसेज अप्रोच फॉलो करते हो, दैट्स गुड. डिस्कसिव पैसेज के लिए जनरली सबको पैसेज क्वेश्चन अप्रोच ज़्यादा इजी लगता है बिकॉज आपको पैसेज का जिस समझ में आ जाता है, जिस समझने के बाद आप इजीली क्वेश्चंस आंसर कर सकते हो. ओके, ठीक है, यह हमारा पहला क्वेश्चन है. और पहला क्वेश्चन क्या है? बेस्ड ऑन योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द पैसेज आंसर क्वेश्चन गिवन बिलो सबके लिए. द सर्च इज डन बाय एग्जामिनिंग द ट्रेजर ट्रोव ऑफ अ डॉक्यूमेंटेड पास्ट. दिस ऑल्सो होल्ड्स ट्रू फॉर द हिस्ट्री ऑफ फूड. ये आपको पैराग्राफ 1 में बोला गया है. व्हाई वुड द ऑथर रेफर टू कुक बुक्स एज अ ट्रेजर ट्रोव? ट्रेजर ट्रोव क्या होता है? ट्रेजर ट्रोव इज अ स्पेसिफिक प्लेस जहाँ पे बहुत सारी कीमती चीज़ें पाई जाती है. ठीक है, तो कुक बुक्स को ट्रेजर ट्रोव क्यों बोला गया है? हम लोग वो लाइन यहाँ पे जाके पढ़ लेंगे. कुक बुक्स हैव ऑलवेज प्लेड. Okay, the search is done by examining the treasure trove of a documented past. ये रही आपकी line. Okay, so this holds true for the history of food. Cookbooks have always played an instrumental role in researching the history of any community. ठीक है, उस line के इर्द गिर्द हमने पढ़ लिया तो हमें समझ में आ गया. Now options क्या है? Because they contain recipes for rich food, because writing them requires a lot of time and money, because they hold a wealth of information about the past, or because writing recipes is considered a rewarding experience. Answer is very simple. Obviously, we are talking about history, how cookbooks help us in researching history. So it's not just about the recipes and the style of writing a cookbooks. It's about what they have to offer. They have a lot more to offer than just recipes. So the answer here would definitely be C, because they hold a wealth of information about the past. Okay? Easy? समझ में नहीं आया तो बोलो क्या नहीं समझ में आया, फिर मैं आपको समझाऊंगी. Okay? All right, next question में चलते हैं. Now, mention records of food consumed in court. King Nala, Pakadarpanam, the oldest book on cookery. ये दिया हुआ है आपको paragraph 1 में. अब पूछ रहे which of these options display the most likely reason that the first cookbooks were from royal households. Okay, अब आपको जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि ऐसा क्यों है, आप guess कर सकते हो और आप अपना दिमाग अप्लाई करके गेस करोगे कि ऐसा क्यों होता है, क्यों होता था. जब हम पुराने ज़माने की बात कर रहे हैं, इनफैक्ट लॉट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंटेड हिस्ट्री जो हमारे पास उन पुराने ज़मानों की है वो सारी रॉयल कोर्ट से ही आती है. कॉमन मैन की हिस्ट्री बहुत रिसेंटली आने लग गई है. क्यों? क्योंकि उस टाइम पे जो रिसोर्सेज थे तब लिखना इतना कॉमन प्लेस नहीं था, सबके पास पेन पेपर नहीं था, सब उठा के कुछ लिखना नहीं शुरू कर सकते, लिटरेसी भी नहीं थी, सबको आता भी नहीं था लिखना. ये सारी जो चीज़ें थी ये प्रिविलेज लोगों के पास होती थी. और प्रिविलेज लोग कौन थे? रॉयल लोग. ठीक है, तो उनके पास वो रिसोर्सेज थे जिनके थ्रू वो लिख सकते हैं. राइट, तो आप ऑप्शंस पढ़ो, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. The royalty was involved in planning all of their meals. नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं है. Normal लोग भी खाते थे, खाएंगे नहीं तो मर जाएंगे. तो A तो नहीं हो सकता. B, the royalty wanted ordinary folk to know how to eat like kings. Obviously not. Okay, then difference क्या रहेगा राजा में और प्रजा में, है ना? The royalty had to be ready to serve special food to foreign visitors. तो वो अपनी रेसिपीज क्यों लिखेंगे? उसके बाद वो तो अपना इंटरनली डिस्कस कर लेंगे कि फॉरेन विजिटर आएगा तो ये बना लेंगे. The royalty had the resources to create complex dishes and document them. That's correct. ठीक है, तो डॉक्यूमेंट करने के भी रिसोर्सेज रॉयल्टी के पास भी थे और कॉम्प्लेक्स डिशेस क्रिएट करने के रिसोर्सेज भी रॉयल्टी के पास ही थे. ठीक है, गॉट इट? ऑल राइट. नाउ, cookbooks are a guiding light. This is given to you in paragraph 2. Which of these options uses the same literary device as the line above? Before we go into the options, let's figure out which literary device is being used here. Let me quickly tell you, when you're making a comparison between two things and you're not using like or as, you're saying one thing is equal to the other thing. That is what? Who will tell me very quickly? That is a... Let me see it in the chats. I'm not asking for the answer, I'm telling you what literary device is. Very good, Vaishnavi, thank you so much. That is a metaphor, yes, I am. So when you have two unlike things that are being compared, उनकी एक quality compare हो रही है without using like or as, we are using a metaphor. So now what do we have to do? We just have to go to the options and see which other option is using a metaphor. This cake is the heaven of taste. Cake is being compared to heaven without using like or as. This is a metaphor, yes. दूसरे भी देख लेते हैं. These grapes are as sweet as candy. This is a simile. These biscuits are delicious. They're the best. Not even using a literary device. This recipe was so interesting. It jumped right off the page. This is using personification and hyperbole, those kinds of literary devices, not a metaphor. So the answer here would be clear A. Okay? If you don't know the meaning of certain words in the passage, first of all, if you're still able to understand the rest of the passage और उस पे question नहीं आया, then you don't have to worry about the meaning, okay? If you are able to understand what the passage is saying, that particular word is not a part of any of your questions, and you don't have to worry about the meaning. If at all it ends up in one of your questions, and I've told you many times, you can guess the meaning by looking at the context. You just read what is happening before that word, what is happening after that word, and you will be able to guess the meaning of the word, okay? All right. The author says cookbooks are a source of information to understand gender-specific roles. Okay? State one of the ways how cookbooks could reveal information on gender-specific roles. So there are many ways if you think about it. First of all, you analyze your own household, you will see that, generally it's a norm that घरों में मम्मियाँ ही खाना बनाती है. So it's still a norm in our society that women tend to cook at home. But if you take a look at cooking as a profession, you will see there are a lot more chefs that are male. Okay, especially on television, there are so many celebrity chefs that are male, right? So you generally analyze these trends in your day-to-day life also. So now if we read cookbooks back in the day, now King Nala is the one who wrote the cookbook. Okay, so he was a male. So does that mean he or all males at that time cooked for their households? Not necessarily. Maybe it was just that males were appointed as head chefs in royal courts. Okay, so these are the number of inferences you can make कि आप cookbooks पढ़ के आप जान सकते हो कि as a profession, even in royal courts, probably males were only appointed because Meng Shen and King Nala both wrote the cookbooks and they were both male. Otherwise, you can say that by reading cookbooks, you can understand that it was women who generally cooked in the households and men who cooked as a profession. Okay? Yes. So these are the kind of inferences you have to make, and you can just state one of them. Okay? And one of them, it's a 1 mark question, so you just have to write it in a proper complete sentence, 1 or 2 sentences, and you will be sorted. Okay? So you can say cookbooks can reveal information about how it was generally males that cooked in the royal courts, and you can just then give the example of King Nala being the author of the famous cookbook from India, or you can say it can give us more insights on the dynamics in the household and in professional places like the courts where generally women would have. Now you cannot make it an assumption, but you can say that cookbooks can give us this information. Okay? All right. Now we've already so sociological research में cookbooks काम आएंगी, ये आपको passage बता रहा है. How can it be a source of information for trade and network? It's written over here. So there are multiple ways that it can be a source of information about trade and network. You can, first of all, if you see that certain spices that are not indigenously grown in a particular area, those are mentioned in a specific cookbook, then you can kind of infer कि maybe there's trade going on between the places where these spices are grown and the place where the cookbook was written. Okay, and you can also, if there is an influence, for example, if there is some sort of an Arabic influence in a particular dish that's not from a cookbook that's part of that region, that means maybe some sort of political diplomatic ties have been formed between these two kingdoms because that influence is over there. Okay, so this is how it can tell you about trade and network. Okay, what is your doubt? Quickly ask me. So you don't have to make a very long answer here. छोटा सा आंसर ही चलेगा, आपको जल्दी से बताना है बस एक दो सेंटेंसेस में कि कैसे आपको ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है. ओके, क्या आदिति, इफ यू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम यू कैन आस्क मी. आदिति आप तो 9th में हो, कि तो 10th का प्रैक्टिस पेपर चल रहा है. व्हाट इज योर डाउट? क्विकली आस्क. It's not necessary to write from the in fact you have to answer in your own words, because if you directly take something from the passage then you're just copy pasting, you're not answering a question. तो आपको अपने words में लिखना ही पड़ेगा शालिनी, आप उसको directly passage से नहीं ले सकते. Ahalya, you don't have to expand an answer for a 1-mark question. Okay, 1-mark question is a 1-mark question. You have to answer in 1 or 2 sentences, so you don't have to expand here. जहाँ पे expand करने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी मैं आपको बताऊँगी. ठीक है, we'll understand, सारे पढ़ेंगे, don't worry. इसमें ट्रेड एंड नेटवर्क किसको नहीं समझ आया? ट्रेड क्या होता है? जब मैं किसी कंट्री को कुछ बेच रहा हूँ, कोई कंट्री मुझे कुछ और बेच रही है, हमारे उस तरीके के इकोनॉमिक रिलेशंस है, वो ट्रेड हो गया. नेटवर्क क्या है कि हम लोग ये न्यूज़ में आजकल भी सुनते हैं कि हमारी ये फ्रेंडली कंट्री है, ये फ्रेंडली कंट्री नहीं है, इंडिया के पाकिस्तान के साथ टेंशन्स चल रही है लेकिन वो इस कंट्री के साथ उनके टाइज ठीक है, यूएस के साथ टाइज ठीक है. ऑल ऑफ दीज आर योर नेटवर्क्स, पॉलिटिकल नेटवर्क्स. सो ये उस टाइम पे किंगडम्स के भी होते थे. सो यू जस्ट हैव टू राइट हाउ कुक बुक्स कैन टेल यू about trade and network by giving you insights about what kind of ingredients were being used, what kind of influence on the dishes can be seen. Okay, ठीक है. Now here complete the following with a phrase from paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 आपको ऊपर दिया हुआ है. Gradually progress from one stage to the next. Very easy, बहुत ही ज़्यादा easy है. ये रहा, step by step, step by step, gradually progress. Okay, simple, कुछ था ही नहीं इसमें तो. Next, the social media chefs are here to stay. Which is the best? Which of these best describes a tone? तो कैसे बोला है कि हाँ मुझे पता है कि वो तो कहीं नहीं जा रहे, they are here to stay. That means it is confidence. So the answer is very simple, C, है ना? Prahlad, what is your doubt? If you don't quickly type it in the chat, then we are wasting everybody's time, no? Yes, very good. All right. Now, based on the... See, you're just going to follow word limit for everything. Why are you trying to figure out कि इतना क्या लिखना है, उतना क्या लिखना है? आपको हर चीज़ की word limit दी जा रही है. आप marks देख लो कितने marks मिल रहे हैं, उस उतने marks के हिसाब से आप लिखो. आपको पेज पे पेज थोड़ी भरने हैं. हाँ. If you expand the answers, will the marks be... But you're just wasting your time. Why do you want to expand the answers for a 1-mark question? You answer to the point. The question is framed in such a way that it only requires that much information. उससे ज़्यादा information उसको चाहिए ही नहीं है. ठीक है? Alright, based on the passage, state any 2 reasons why more Indians are exploring the art of cooking. So there are multiple reasons given in the passage. Okay, first of all, recipes are easily available in social media. Okay, it was a necessity at the beginning, became a recreational activity. It improves people's psychological well-being. It engages them in goal-oriented behavior. It is also a way to connect with others, okay, by sharing recipes, posting pictures, okay. So इसमें ही 4-5 पॉइंट्स मिल गए, इसमें से आप 2 उठा के बता दोगे, ओके. So दो इसमें से क्या है, because of the easily available shows online and on TV, because it's easier to follow a video recipe and see what is happening as opposed to read, okay, because COVID-19 gave people a lot of time at home to experiment and try cooking. Many points, okay. ठीक है. आयुषी, होपफुल तब होता जब आप ये बोलते कि मैं श्योर नहीं हूँ लेकिन मैं चाहती हूँ कि ऐसा हो जाए. जब आप कुछ होप करते हो तो आप श्योर नहीं होते, बट आपकी बहुत इच्छा होती है कि ऐसा हो जाए. उसमें इच्छा नहीं थी, उसमें बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस से बोला था कि ये है और ये रहेगा, ओके. ऑल राइट. व्हाट इज योर डाउट? टाइप द एग्जैक्ट डाउट. If you have a doubt, don't waste time asking, can I ask your doubt? You just type it out. Sunilja, just follow the word limit. Follow the word limit given to you in the question. Okay? Atharv, what did you not get? Ask me exactly. ठीक है? In the passage, which of these is not suggested as reason for people posting on social media about the food they cooked? So the reasons why people posted, to share that they have completed a task, yes, to maintain a record of what they have cooked, yes, to explain the step-by-step steps they used for making the dish, yes, to create a sense of competition. While this might be true, and I've told you this multiple times about discursive passages, आप एक option पढ़ोगे आपको लगेगा ये भी तो होता है. But is it written in the passage? That's what you're concerned with. Your concern is passage में क्या लिखा है, passage में क्या नहीं लिखा. Okay, not your opinion about this particular topic. So D is our answer here, because even though you might think that हाँ लोग ऑनलाइन तो इसलिए पोस्ट करते हैं दूसरों के साथ compete करने के लिए, किसको ज़्यादा likes आएंगे, ये होता होगा, पर ये passage में नहीं दिया हुआ. Okay, it's not given in the passage, so this. And they've also said this, not suggested as a reason for people posting on social media. Okay? ठीक है. Gaurav will do how to find correct analogy also. Write an appropriate, quickly everybody, I want a different title from everyone. Quickly give me a title in the comments. In the chat, sorry. Vishnu, what is your doubt? Ask your doubt. माइटी टेक्नो, ध्यान से सुनो. ट्रेड क्या होता है? ट्रेड ये होता है कि हम अपनी कंट्री में कुछ कर रहे हैं, हम कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं, एग्रीकल्चरली कुछ उगा रहे हैं, वो किसी और कंट्री को चाहिए, वो हमें पैसे देंगे, हम उनको बेचेंगे. सिमिलरली उनके पास ऐसा कुछ है जो हमें चाहिए, हम उनको पैसे देंगे, वो हमें बेचेंगे. ये ट्रेड हो गया बेसिक. तो हम जब कुक बुक्स पढ़ते हैं पुरानी, उस टाइम पे हम लोग ये एनालाइज कर सकते हैं कि इंडिया में फॉर एग्जाम्पल कभी आपने सुना था इंडिया में उस टाइम पे क्या ग्रो, एवोकाडोज लोग उगा रहे हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं सुना होगा, लेकिन हो सकता है कि लैटिन अमेरिका टाइप की जगह में उगा रहे हो. तो अगर आप देखोगे कुक बुक्स में, एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ, ये फैक्ट नहीं है, कि अगर आप कुक बुक में देखोगे कि वो चीज़ इंग्रेडिएंट यूज़ करके कोई रेसिपी बना रहे हो, तो आप अज्यूम कर सकते हो कि इनके ट्रेड नेटवर्क होगा, तभी इस कंट्री से इस कंट्री में या इस किंगडम से इस किंगडम में ये चीज़ आ पाई है, क्योंकि उनका ट्रेड नेटवर्क है. ओके, all right, very good. Many answers. I'll see here the story of cookbooks, history of cookbooks. ठीक है. The cooking world, history through cookbooks is a very nice one. I really like it. Good one, Ayushi. वर्ल्ड ऑफ कुकबुक में थोड़ा आपने मिस्टेक कर दिया. देखो, अगर आपको ज़्यादा कैची टाइटल नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो आप बहुत सिंपल टाइटल रखो, ठीक है. द रोल ऑफ कुक बुक्स, ठीक है, या इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ कुक बुक्स. बट अगर आपको कैची टाइटल समझ में आया, देन आप हिस्ट्री थ्रू कुक बुक्स इज अ वेरी नाइस वन. आई रियली लाइक्ड इट. Diditi, we're not only talking about the evolution of cookbooks. Yes, they have evolved from being books to being video based, but that's not the point of the passage. The point is the kind of insights we get from cookbooks, है ना? And we're not just talking about the origin. We don't mention the origin. We say कि हाँ बहुत पुरानी cookbooks available है, but हम ये नहीं बोल रहे कि पहली cookbook ये थी, right? So, the world through cookbooks, that's a nice one. Alright. See, those of you who are concerned about one kind of paragraph, you know you will have a choice, right? You will have a choice. So, when you have a choice and you see एक paragraph आपको समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है क्या analyze करना है क्या नहीं करना, then go for the other one. Other one will be easier. Why are you so worried? इतना tension नहीं लेते, okay? Yes, very good. Shalini, what you have written is incorrect. So make sure your title is grammatically correct. ठीक है? आप ज़्यादा उसको fancy मत बनाओ. Simple रखो पर grammatically correct रखो. Okay? See, the marking scheme is giving you options कि इस type का आप रख सकते हो. It's not an exhaustive list. If your title makes sense and if it's nice, if it's valid, you will get marks for it. But you cannot say stupendous cookbook. Which stupendous cookbook are you talking about? हाँ अतुल, choice आएगा ना आपको? Choice आएगा. Okay. We are not talking about cooking as a profession. Yes, cookbook can tell us more about history, that's correct. We're not talking about cooking as a profession, that will not be correct. ठीक है? So history through cookbooks, the importance of cookbooks, role of cookbooks, cookbooks throughout history, इस type का आप No, we are not. देवांश, सिर्फ एक cookbook की बात नहीं की है हमने. अगर ये पूरा paragraph एक ancient cookbook के बारे में होता तो ये title होता. But that's not what the passage is about, okay? Clear? जिस बारे में passage है वो title रखोगे ना आप. Journey of cookbooks is a very nice one. But because उसमें history का aspect है, bringing that in can also be a nice title. ठीक है? Okay, next. Next passage, we've reached our case-based passage. Okay, I will just tweak that a little bit. 1 second. I think Kiran gave me a nice one and asked me a question. So you can say cookbook and its importance through history or importance in history. Okay? Alright. Here's the next passage. Let's read it together. Okay, playing video games provides entertainment and many social and psychological rewards. However, video game addiction also needs to be considered. Researchers have noted that the number of hours spent playing video games is not necessarily a core indicator of addiction. Instead, several factors such as how fun or challenging a game is or being able to play with friends are also important determinants to understanding whether a game is addictive or engaging. Okay? A study investigated the reasons for smartphone game addiction. This was done by analyzing the reviews of games. Reviews were collected from games across different categories in an app store. A total of 25,200 reviews were collected containing references to the game being addictive. These reviews were analyzed and the number of times different factors were mentioned for terming a game as addictive was recorded. That data is given to you in this table over here. So broadly, to understand the table, we can say that first, आपको type of game दिया है. Is it an action game, board game, card game or word-based game? Okay? And then you are given which factor made it addictive according to the reviews. So was it because it was challenging? Was it because you could play it with friends or was it because it was fun? Okay? And the numbers of time this was mentioned is given to you in the table. Understood the table, everybody? It's not bright art spot, it's very easy. We are figuring it out together, okay? Understood the table? Any confusions over here? No, right? Okay. So then it was seen that 22.37% of the total reviews in the study that described a game as addictive also described it as challenging. This was the most common factor associated with addictive games out of all the 9 factors. This was followed by 15.7% of the reviews mentioning the factor of friends. Although it is a cliche, the ubiquity of the internet has made the world a global village. Friends can now play and interact as a group, build virtual relationships within the game and attain social recognition from others. without even meeting in person. All of these factors can be highly engaging to players, and for some, these could become addictive. Okay, what is your doubt? Quickly ask me. Say doubt and ask your doubt. Don't waste time. I know, Sunil, that's why I'm reading it out for you. ठीक है, तो पढ़ लिया. So the case-based passage का cliche, Sammy, cliche is something that is generally said, which is so overdone कि अब सुन के लगता है अरे यार ये क्या बार बार वही बात बोलते हो, कुछ और नया सुनाओ. Okay, that is the meaning of a cliche. Something that is used so commonly, so often that it doesn't have an impact anymore. Okay, that is the meaning of cliche. Ha, Darshana played Ludo during lockdown. Yes, you can write in your own words. Now, what is the meaning of this passage? What is it telling us? It's telling us about video game addiction, and what did it use to sort of quantify what is causing these addictions? It used reviews on the App Store. So it collected a particular number, that a number is given to you of reviews, and in that it looked for references to a game being addictive. And once it found those references, it analyzed what is making it addictive. Is it because it's challenging? Is it because you can play it with friends? Or is it because it's fun? Alright? We're going to solve all sections, Gaurav. ठीक है, ये था पैसेज. नाउ लेट्स आंसर द क्वेश्चंस. नाउ इस पैसेज में ऐसा कुछ इतना कुछ दिया हुआ है जिसपे क्वेश्चन भी नहीं आ रहा है. आपको यहाँ पे परसेंटेज दी हुई है. आई डोंट थिंक उस पे कोई क्वेश्चन भी आ रहा है. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू, केस बेस्ड पैसेज में यू कैन ऑलवेज read the questions first and then come back to the passage. That's also it's a good approach. All right, yes, I've answered all of these questions already. Still you're asking, Gaurav, we're doing all sections. Vishnu, yes, you can write in your own words. Okay? All right. So based on the passage, state any two reasons why we need to study video games. What are the two reasons? It's given to you in the beginning only. It provides entertainment and many social and psychological rewards. However, it can also be addictive. Okay, so these are the reasons why we should study it. We can study it for the positive effects it has on people. We can also study it for the negative effects like addiction that it has on people. Okay, easy. If we understand video games better, what can we do? We can make them less addictive. We can stop addiction, video game addiction in people, okay? Or we can make them more rewarding. We can make them benefit the player in better ways, okay? That's why we should study video games. All right. Leila spends 2 hours a day playing games on her phone. According to the passage, is this information sufficient to say she's addicted to video games? Why or why not? Answer in one sentence, okay? So, here, she plays for 2 hours a day. You might jump and say, yeah, 2 hours तो बहुत ज़्यादा addiction होती है. But right in the passage, it tells you, researchers have noted that the number of hours spent playing video games is not necessarily a core indicator of addiction. Okay, it's given to you right there in the passage. So what will your answer be? It's not sufficient to say that she is addicted because other factors need to be considered to determine addiction, or because the number of hours you play is not, as found by researchers, number of hours you play is not the only indicator of whether or not a game is addictive. Okay, so Ayushi, you have to also give the reason why or why not. ठीक है? Gaurav, try refreshing your page. ठीक है? समझ में आया? Alright. Now complete the following analogy correctly with a word from paragraph 1. Who was asking me about an analogy? I'll tell you how to solve. So, flourishes is to grows. पहले हम ये देखेंगे कि ये क्या है. Flourishes, कुछ flourish करता है तो वो बहुत अच्छे से grow कर रहा है, bloom कर रहा है. It's doing well, okay? It's progressing. So, flourishes and grows, we can say are what? Synonyms, right? Agree with me, all of you? So if flourishes and grows are synonyms, then we need to find a synonym of factors to fill in the blank over here. And we've been given कि paragraph 1 में ही ढूंढो, पूरे passage में ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो paragraph 1 में the only synonym of factors I see are determinants. determinants, right? Easy. Okay. See, a factor or is something that causes something to happen. Okay, this is a very important factor in something. मतलब उसकी वजह से you need to consider the implications of this to understand why this is happening. Same thing with determinant. You need to understand a determinant is what. Determine word आपको समझ में आता है ना? Determine word समझ में आता है. Something determines something. तो उस केस में determinants and factors are synonyms. Because, see, when I want to indicate something, I am just saying कि I'm giving you a hint. I'm indicating. मतलब ये हो भी सकता है, इसकी वजह से नहीं भी हो सकता. But when I'm talking about a factor, when I tell you what are the okay, you talk about disease. I'll give you an example. Okay, आपको मैं पूछूंगी कि आपको क्या if you have a particular diagnosis कि आपको ये वाला डिजीज है COVID-19, चलो कोविड हो गया, तो व्हाट आर द इंडिकेटर्स, क्यों है आपको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि आपको डिजीज है? तो आप कह सकते हो कि मेरे को फीवर हो रहा है, मुझे कॉफ हो रहा है और मुझे बहुत टायर्ड लग रहा है. सो दीज आर द इंडिकेटर्स व्हाई आई थिंक आई हैव कोविड. बट देन मे बी योर डायग्नोसिस कैन से कि नहीं, आपको तो कोई और बीमारी है, you actually have this बीमारी, not COVID, right? So your indicator can be incorrect also, है ना? ठीक है, तो वो indicate कर रहा है लेकिन आपको for sure नहीं बताना. Now what is a factor or what is a determinant? If I tell you to list out what are the factors that let's see आप when you talk about factors, these are the things that are directly responsible or need to be taken into account for a particular purpose. जैसे इसमें हम बोल रहे हैं कि several factors such as how fun or challenging a game is, being able to play with friends are also important. तो what are, अगर मैं आपको directly question पूछूंगी, what are the factors that make a game addictive? Then you will list out how fun or challenging a game is and being able to play with friends. Okay, so factor is list of reasons what makes something, whereas an indicator is just an indication. मतलब इसकी वजह से मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये हो सकता है. Okay, another thing why you should know that it's factors and not indicator is because आप sentence ही देख लो, in coming in the same sentence several factors are also important determinants. Okay, Banu, some questions will have options, some will not have options. Okay, so it's coming in the same sentence, close by, being used in the same way. So this should also give you an idea that, yeah, very good, Diti. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Synonyms का मतलब हमारा same meaning होता है जिनका, same meanings. Okay, all right. Based on paragraph 1, it can be said that the level of blank and blank in a video game determine how addictive it can be. This is very clearly given to you in the passage. Okay, it's the difficulty, मतलब how challenging it is and how fun it is. So difficulty and enjoyment, ये कौन सा option हो गया? 3 and 5. ठीक है? We'll come to analytical paragraph अभी next, so we'll talk about it then. Okay? Easy था ये, कोई डाउट तो नहीं था? Okay. The study mentioned in the passage used game reviews to understand what makes a game addictive. State one reason why game reviews were analyzed for the purpose of this study. बहुत सारे reasons हैं कि आपने reviews क्यों देखे. अगर मुझे कुछ पता करना है कि कोई चीज़ का क्या फीडबैक है लोगों का जनरली फॉर रिसर्च पर्पसेस, मैं जाऊंगी, मैं लोग पकड़ूंगी, मैं उनसे एक एक करके पूछूंगी, मुझे बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा ये करने में, राइट? इट्स अ वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग एक्टिविटी. सो इफ आई चूज टू सर्वे 25,000 से भी ज़्यादा people, 25,200 people, is going to take up a lot of my time. Instead, I have a readily available database where people have already given their feedback, which is reviews. So I can just easily go and refer to the reviews instead of going and talking to everybody. I don't know if I'll be able to do it right now. If somebody else has the link, please paste it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll try to get it on my phone and I'll try to do it, okay? Till then, थोड़ा सा ऐसे करके देख लो, okay? Shalini, you can do the paper however you're comfortable doing it, as long as you know that you can manage your time. ठीक है? All right, this is easy. Reviews क्यों देखे? पता चल गया. All right, now we finally have a question where we have to analyze some data. So let's see. Based on the table in the passage, which type of game does the given graph represent? Okay. So here we have, what do we have? X-axis, Y-axis में क्या क्या है हमारे? We have the number of reviews and we have the challenging, friends and fun. So सबसे ज़्यादा reviews किसके? challenging के है, सबसे कम reviews में friends है और थोड़े से ज़्यादा fun है. ठीक है, ये पर्टिकुलर डायनामिक कहाँ देखने में मिल रहा है? इतने कम, मतलब आप देखो कि चैलेंजिंग कितना ज्यादा है, यहां तक पहुंचा हुआ है, और फ्रेंड्स कितना कम है. इतना बड़ा डिफरेंस किस में दिखाई दे रहा है? बहुत इजीली आपको यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है. 812 people said it was challenging and only 23 people said कि friends was a factor. And somewhere in the middle, one, मतलब not in the middle, but थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा friends से, but काफ़ी कम challenging से was the fun aspect. So it's quite obvious that it is D word. Okay? All right. Now, a developer of a crossword puzzle app is seeking advice to make improvements to the app based on the data provided. Which of the ideas is best to recommend to the developer? So, crossword puzzle app है, इसमें थोड़ा सा infer करना पड़ेगा आपको. Crossword puzzle app मतलब किस कैटेगरी में आएगी? इसमें से word की कैटेगरी में आएगी. So, word game है ना? तो word game को अगर और fun बनाना है तो उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा problem क्या हो रही है अभी? लोग उसको friends के साथ नहीं खेल पा रहे. 23 लोगों ने ही बोला उसको. चैलेंजिंग तो बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि बढ़िया है, चैलेंजिंग है, वो तो चल ही रहा है. ठीक है, फन भी काफी लोगों ने बोल दिया, पर ये सबसे ज्यादा कम है. तो कहाँ पे उनको वर्क करना चाहिए? उनको इस एस्पेक्ट में वर्क करना चाहिए, है ना? तो कौन सा ऑप्शन आपको इस एस्पेक्ट पे वर्क करने दे रहा है? ऑप्शन बी, अलाउ प्लेयर्स टू टीम अप और कम्पीट विद अदर प्लेयर्स. ओके Gaurav, see, it depends on your error density. If you are writing a long answer, आपने एक दो जगह grammatical error कर दी, or it's not really affecting the ability to understand the paragraph, then it's fine. If it's not hindering the person's ability to read what you've written, then your grammatical error will not cost you marks. But if you've made many errors back to back and उसकी वजह से समझ में नहीं आ रहा आपने क्या लिखा है, then you will lose marks. Okay? So you don't have to hyper fixate कि मैं एक भी गलती नहीं करूँगा. आपसे एक दो गलती हो गई, आप फिर भी full marks score कर सकते हो. It's just that error density should not be very high. Okay? ठीक है, this was easy. Done? All right. Write a word from paragraph 4 that means the same as the underlined word in the sentence below. What is the underlined word? It is a universal appeal. Or smartphones had made video games very popular. Universal appeal मतलब सबके पास है, all over the world सबको appeal करता है. And something that is common throughout the world. एक ही word है जो यहाँ पे वो बोल रहा है. And let's see. All this is a cliche, the ubiquity of the internet has made it a global village. Okay? So the correct answer is ubiquity. Now a lot of you will say that अरे ubiquity का मुझे मतलब ही नहीं पता, अब मैं क्या करूँगा? आप sentence पढ़ोगे, ठीक है? So all that's a cliche, the ubiquity of the internet has made the world a global village. इसमें क्या word आ रहा है? Global. Okay, friends can now play and interact as a group, build virtual relationships within a game. So, what is this sentence telling you? Even if you don't understand this word, ये word आपको समझ में नहीं आया, फिर भी आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि sentence क्या बोल रहा है. Sentence ये बोल रहा है कि इंटरनेट की वजह से globally हम सब लोग इतना connected हैं और हम लोग एक दूसरे से interact कर सकते हैं even if we are not close by. Okay, what does this mean? This means that everybody throughout the world, what do they have? They have the internet, which makes the internet ubiquitous, which gives it a universal appeal. ठीक है, universal word important है इधर. So आप easily universal appeal को ubiquity से substitute कर दोगे. Okay? See, recognize तो आप किसी भी चीज को कर सकते हो ना. Recognize आप किसी भी स्केल पे कर सकते हो. You and I can recognize something. We as BYJU'S 9th and 10th channel can recognize something. We as Indians can recognize something. Here we are talking about world over. World over. So the only word that does justice to that is ubiquity. Okay? Praveena, I don't know how to tell the future, so I cannot tell you. But yes, if you are clear on your concepts, then it will be very easy. Okay? All right. Now, why is everyone playing on their phones? If you had to fit this line somewhere in the passage, where will you fit it? If you were to fit this line somewhere in the passage, obviously the only place that you can fit it is right before this. Why is everyone playing on their phones? Because playing video games provides entertainment and many social and psychological rewards. Easy flow कर रहा है. So बहुत easy answer है इसका at the beginning of paragraph 1. Otherwise, you can try fitting it in everywhere else that they've said. At the end of paragraph 1, it won't make sense. At the beginning of paragraph 2, it will not make sense. At the end of paragraph 4, it will not make sense. Okay? Mukta, why are you giving C as the answer? At the end of paragraph 2, you cannot end a paragraph over here with a question. Doesn't make sense. Okay? Alright. You're getting 1 mark per question, Vishnu, hai na? Yes, we are going now to, after this, we are going to grammar. This is the last question of section A. Which of these is the best suited title for the passage? Smartphones boost addiction, challenge your mind with games, a new way to game with friends, understanding addiction to games. Easy. What is the answer? Come on, quickly. Yes, understanding addiction to games. That's why we analyzed all these reviews. That's why we saw क्या किसको game को कैसे addictive बनाता है. It's because we want to understand addiction. Easy answer. ठीक है? All right. We are done with section A. तो मुझे बताओ कौन-कौन score करेगा full marks section A में? Who is scoring full marks in section A? All right. Yes, me. Full marks, full. अभी 80 on 80 कैसे हो गया? प्रगति अभी तो एक ही सेक्शन हुआ है. हाँ, बट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, समझ में आ गया ना कैसे जो questions नहीं समझ में आए, you've now understood how to answer them. Okay? All right, now let's do section B. We will start with grammar. Here is our first question. Read the conversation between a mother and a son. Complete the sentence by reporting the mother's reply correctly. Okay? Son, Mom, how do I become an artist? Mother, you will need to learn more about the art you like and practice it every day. A son asked his mother how he would become an artist. She told him, okay. Now what are we doing? We are reporting, so we will change the pronoun. She told him he would need to learn more about the art he. Now इसमें आपके पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं, आप liked कर दो क्योंकि you know that tense का back shift करना है, and practice it every day. Okay, so she told him he would need to learn more about the art he liked and practice it every day. But likes will also work because आपकी liking एक चीज के लिए time bound नहीं है, it will continue throughout your life. So liked and likes both work. Okay. No, Mukta, इसका नहीं. We will not change the tense for practice. Please don't do that. Because practice so lifelong he will need to do, no? It's not like जब ये बोला गया था और जब ये रिपोर्ट किया गया था उतने देर में ही practice करना था. No. Practice is something he will have to do every day. So you cannot make it past tense. Okay? All right. समझ में आ गया? प्रोनाउंस चेंज करने हैं, टेंस चेंज करना है, पर टेंस चेंज करने का मतलब नहीं कि आंखें बंद करके हर चीज का टेंस चेंज कर दोगे. लुक एट व्हाट द सेंटेंस इज सेइंग एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल चेंज द टेंस. ओके, सो she told him that he would need to learn more about the art he liked or likes and practice it every day. All right. Next question. We are Vishnu. You need to know the grammar to get full marks in grammar. That's what we are doing. Sunil, that लगा दो, कोई problem नहीं है. ना भी लगाओ चलेगा, लगा दो, कोई problem नहीं है. Okay. Are you looking for more books to read? Due to popular demand, we blank back our buy one get one free offer next weekend. Here, next weekend is your hint. It gives away the tense of the sentence. Yes, we will bring back our buy one get one free offer next weekend. आप next weekend जो काम करने वाले हो वो future tense में होगा. So, you will use yes, will bring. Very good. कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? Now error correction है. Identify the error. Newspaper headline है. Athletic star helps state stays ahead of competition. Use the given format for your response. Error क्या है and correction क्या है. Okay, it's a basic. Yes, very good. Error is stays and it should be stay. Athletic star helps state stay ahead of competition. Okay? Very good. Easy. ये तो बहुत easy था. Perfect. Now, caution, you blank not enter. Only employees are allowed beyond this point. Modal verb is being tested over here. When you tell somebody that they बिना आंसर दिए कैसे बोल दूं मैं? बहुत easy है ये. Yes, very good, Sammy. Very good, Sunil. Perfect. The answer is must. You must not enter. Only employees are allowed beyond this point. So it's an obligation that must be followed. You have no choice. आपको entry allowed ही नहीं है. So you must not enter. Okay? बहुत easy. I think the grammar part of this practice paper was very easy. है ना? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Now, fill in the blank using correct form of the word. Dear diary, today I saw the most beautiful sunrise over the ocean. I wish I could blank it to truly capture and preserve the beauty I witnessed. Painting is your verb. Why not see? कौन पूछ रहा है? You could not enter. Ability की बात थोड़ी कर रहे हैं. अब कैन और कुड किस लिए यूज होता है? अबिलिटी बताने के लिए, कुड पास्ट अबिलिटी, और कुड कैन ऑल्सो बी यूज टू मेक अ माइल्ड सजेशन. ये माइल्ड सजेशन तो है नहीं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट्स नॉट अ माइल्ड सजेशन, इट्स काइंड ऑफ एन ऑर्डर दैट इज बीइंग गिवन. सेकेंडली, आप नहीं एंटर कर पाए ये थोड़ी बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, आप एंटर नहीं कर सकते ये बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, इसलिए कुड तो हो ही नहीं सकता. हाँ, ये वेरी गुड. पेंट is the correct answer. I wish I could paint it to truly capture. Now you see, you're thinking too much, Ayushi. Here, just giving, I wish I could paint it to truly capture and preserve the beauty I witnessed. This is not something that you can only do when you watch the sunrise, right? मैंने सनराइज देखा, मैं उसको कल भी तो पेंट कर सकती हूँ. आपको जरूरी थोड़ी है कि आप जब देख रहे हो तभी पेंट करो, है ना? तो हैव पेंटेड अगर यूज करोगे तो हैव पेंटेड का मतलब क्या होगा कि मैं काश मैं उसी टाइम पे पेंट कर लेती. ओके, सो दैट्स नॉट व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? हैव पेंटेड आप तब बोलोगे जब आप बोलना चाहोगे कि जब मैंने सनराइज देखा था सुबह तभी मेरे को पेंट कर लेना चाहिए था. आप बाद में भी तो पेंट कर सकते हो, दिमाग में तो है ही, है ना? तो इसीलिए हम पेंट यूज करेंगे यहाँ पे. आई विश आई कुड पेंट इट टू ट्रूली कैप्चर एंड प्रिजर्व द ब्यूटी आई विटनेस्ड. ओके, इजी, गॉट इट? ऑल राइट. Now select the option that identifies the error in a museum plaque and supplies a correction for the same. These building, inaugurated on 29 March 1954, was a former resident of a Maharaja. तो इधर obviously these building में error है. या तो ये these buildings होना चाहिए या तो this building होना चाहिए. These buildings और this building. अब इनमें से कौन सा करेक्ट होगा ये बाकी के सेंटेंस से पता चल जाएगा. Was a former residence of a Maharaja. A former residence. We are not saying were former residences of Maharajas. Okay? So, in this case, we are just talking about one building. So, we will change these to this. Okay? Option A is your correct answer. Alright? Very good. You must have got good news. I could blank you celebrating. जब मॉडल के बाद आपको सीधा वर्ब लगाना है, then it will always be in the क्या लिख रही हूं मैं? Infinitive form. Okay? So, I could hear you celebrating. To hear is the infinitive form, है ना? तो इसमें से हम to हटा देंगे और सिर्फ hear लिखेंगे. Modal के बाद हमेशा ये याद रखना. Even in the I wish I could paint it, same logic was applied. Okay? Perfect. Easy. Easy peasy. Now, again, it's a reported speech question. I am worried. This is a very complicated case. Client is saying, lawyer is saying, don't worry. I have never lost a case in my life. Okay? Very confident lawyer. So, the client was worried as it was a very complicated case, but his lawyer told him, you can say told him not to worry, told him that he need not worry, told him. So, बहुत तरीके हैं start करने के, okay? So, told him not to worry, that he need not worry, as वही रहेगा, he had never lost a case in his life, okay? In his life हो जाएगा, है ना? And same as he had never lost a case in his life. शालिनी, नीडेंट के बाद टू नहीं लगेगा, वो हटा दो, वो डिलीट कर दो. दैट ही नीडेंट वरी as he hadn't lost a case yet. Any case, a case भी कर सकते हो, any case भी कर सकते हो. That's up to you how you report it. Okay. शालिनी, नीडेंट के बाद टू नहीं लगेगा. ओके लेट्स डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. सी, इन्फिनिटिव फॉर्म वो होता है जो डिक्शनरी में दिया होता है. हर वर्ब का एक बेसिक फॉर्म होता है ना. जैसे आपका नाम है लेट्स ड्रॉ, तो आपका ड्रॉ जो वर्ब है उसका बेसिक फॉर्म है टू ड्रॉ, टू राइट, ओके, टू सिंग. पर इनके और भी ज्यादा फॉर्म्स है ना. ड्रॉन, ड्रू, रोट, रिटन, सैंग, संग, है ना. सो ये जो फॉर्म है, ये बेसिक फॉर्म, इसको हम इन्फिनिटिव फॉर्म बोलते हैं. ओके ऑल राइट, ये क्लियर है. रिपोर्टेड स्पीच क्वेश्चन. क्या आदित्य, किस चीज में कंफ्यूजन है? सी, वील हैव बैक टू बैक सेशंस बिफोर योर एग्जाम, तो सब कवर होगा उसमें. वील हैव ग्रामर क्वेश्चंस, लिटरेचर क्वेश्चंस, वील हैव जो भी आपको एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ में कंफ्यूजन है, विल डू ऑल ऑफ दिस. ओके, लिटरेरी डिवाइस का रिवीजन हो चुका है. श्रीहर, आप वो वीडियो देख लो जाके. पोएटिक डिवाइस, हमने सारी पोएम्स में सारे लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस कर लिए. ठीक है, तो आप ही योर्स सिंसियरली, योर्स ट्रूली, इन दोनों पे टिके रहो. एडिटर को लिख रहे हो तो योर्स ट्रूली लिख दोगे, वरना योर्स सिंसियरली लिखोगे. ओके, वैसे नहीं कटने चाहिए थे, बट कोई बात नहीं, बोर्ड्स में हम केयरफुल रहेंगे. ओके ऑल राइट, fill in the blank by choosing the correct option to complete the text message below. Please only attempt the number of questions that you have to attempt. I don't know why you have this urge to waste your own time. आपको extra marks नहीं मिलेंगे if you attempt more questions. Okay, just do what you're supposed to do. Whatever you're not confident about, you have the option to not attempt that question. So please don't attempt it. Okay, because if you do end up attempting it and getting it wrong, then you will lose marks. Now let's meet another day, since neither Kavi nor Samantha blank free today as they have tennis practice. Yes. Viraj, what are you not able to understand in direct and indirect speech? Okay, here the correct answer is. Okay, whenever we have neither nor, just have to remember one thing. Okay, आप देखोगे कि नाइदर के बाद क्या है और नॉर के बाद क्या है, और नॉर के बाद जो है वो सिंगुलर है कि प्लूरल है. अगर सिंगुलर है तो इज लगा दोगे, प्लूरल है तो आर लगा दोगे. ओके, इसमें समंथा सिंगुलर है, दैट्स वन पर्सन, तो हम इज लगाएंगे. अगर मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल दे देती हूं, नाइदर द kitten nor the puppies blank playing. इसमें क्या लगाओगे? Neither the kitten nor the puppies blank playing. इसमें आप लगा दोगे आर. क्यों? बिकॉज नॉर के बाद प्लूरल आ गया, पपीज. ओके, इसमें अगर मैं ये ऐसे कर देती, नाइदर द पपीज नॉर द किटन, तो मैं इज लगा देती, इज प्लेइंग, बिकॉज नॉर के बाद सिंगुलर आ गया. सो वट एवर इज कमिंग आफ्टर नॉर, आप उसके हिसाब से लगा देना सिंगुलर की प्लूरल. ओके ऑल राइट, रिपोर्टेड स्पीच में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. अब एक और क्वेश्चन आएगा तो हाँ आ गया. Let's quickly go over the rules of reported speech. See, reported speech का मतलब क्या है पहले ये समझ लो. किसी ने किसी को कुछ बोला, ठीक है, एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे बोला. अब किसी और को वही चीज किसी और को बतानी है और थोड़े टाइम बाद बतानी है, तो वो रिपोर्टेड स्पीच हो गई. ठीक है, जो मैंने डायरेक्टली बोला वो डायरेक्ट स्पीच है, मेरी बात सुन के कोई और किसी को बता रहा है वो रिपोर्टेड स्पीच है. ओके, सो रिपोर्टेड स्पीच में यू विल टेक केयर ऑफ अ फ्यू थिंग्स विच इज प्रोनाउन, किसने बोला था और कौन रिपोर्ट कर रहा है, उसके हिसाब से आप प्रोनाउन चेंज करोगे, टेंस चेंज करोगे, क्योंकि जब बोला गया था और जब रिपोर्ट हो रहा है उसके बीच में थोड़ा टाइम पास हो गया है, तो उस टाइम को अकोमोडेट करने के लिए आप टेंस चेंज करोगे. और अभी जो ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, जैसे आप आंसर मुझे दे रहे हो, वेरी गुड, कि वर्ड्स लाइक yesterday, tomorrow, here, okay, this, all of this will change because जब आप रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो किसी चीज को, टाइम हैज पास्ड एंड द प्लेस हैज ऑल्सो चेंज्ड. सो हियर इन दिस केस probably by tomorrow, I don't think your car has any major issues. तो ये जो tomorrow बोला था, ये हो सकता है 3 दिन पहले बोला, हो सकता है 3 दिन पहले ये कॉन्वर्सेशन, हो सकता है लास्ट वीक हुई हो सकता है मैं बोल देती हूँ 3rd Feb को हुई है और मैं ये आज बता रही हूँ किसी को, तो आज बताऊंगी तो टुमारो बोलूंगी तो इट वोंट मेक सेंस, राइट? सो वी विल हैव टू यूज द नेक्स्ट डे. ऑल राइट, मेक सेंस? आइडेंटिफाई द एरर, अगेन ऐड में एरर है. यूज द गिवन फॉर्मेट फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स, हमेशा यही फॉर्मेट यूज करना. अगर आप सिर्फ करेक्शन लिखाओगे तो आपको मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे पूरे. ओके, तो आपको एरर भी लिखनी है, फिर करेक्शन भी लिखनी है. लुकिंग टू बाय गिटार, the brand new guitar is for sale. It comes with a wooden velvet lined guitar case. If interested, contact me. XX. अब ये मत बोलना एरर ये है कि आपने पूरा फोन नंबर नहीं दिया. प्लीज ऐसी बातें मत करना एग्जाम में. एरर क्या है? हम लोग एक चीज के बारे में पहली बार बात कर रहे हैं, हम उसके लिए डेफिनेट आर्टिकल कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं? हम इनडेफिनेट आर्टिकल यूज करेंगे. सो द एरर इज द शुड बी अ. एंड ट्राई करो कि आप, ये फर्स्ट वर्ड है ना सेंटेंस का, ट्राई करो कि कैपिटल लेटर से ही स्टार्ट करो व्हेन राइटिंग द एरर. ओके, एट ऑन क्या एरर बता रहे हो आप? नहीं, ये ठीक है. दिस इज नॉट एन एरर, दिस इज नॉट द एरर एट या ऑन. कॉल मी एट बोलते तो है नंबर देने से पहले, ये दोनों चलता है, दैट्स फाइन. यू कैन रीच मी एट 9899 whatever. It is a and not the, because you are talking about a brand new guitar that nobody else has ever seen before. You're talking about it for the very first time in your ad. You cannot introduce it with a definite article because definite article is always used for something that has either been mentioned before or is known by all. कोई फेमस चीज है, पॉपुलर चीज है, मॉन्यूमेंट है, उसके आगे आप द लगा दोगे बिकॉज वो सब जानते हैं उसके बारे में. लेकिन अगर आपने किसी चीज के बारे में कभी पहले सुना नहीं है, ना ही मैंने मेंशन किया है, तो आप कैसे जानोगे? Okay, so the first time you talk about something that your listener doesn't know about, or in this case your reader doesn't know about, then you will use a if it starts with a consonant sound, or an if it starts with a vowel sound. Indefinite article use karoge. Okay? Shantanu, because I just explained that both of these are correct before a phone number. Both of these can be correct before a phone number. At is not wrong over here. Alright. Rishi asked, Shantanu, because at भी use होता है. It is used. It's correct. It's not incorrect. Rishi asked, study the question given below. Report Rishi's question. Could you give me some advice on how I could be a better school captain? How do you report questions? Are they a question in reported speech also? No. They have to become a statement. How will you change this to a statement? Rishi requested Ali for some advice on how he could be a better school captain. Very good, Nisha. Perfect. So इसमें आप requested use कर सकते हो, asked use कर सकते हो. आपका reporting verb इन दोनों में से कुछ भी हो सकता है. इसमें there is nothing hard. See, okay, one by one we'll do everything. Okay. First of all, I told you it's a question, and it's also sort of a request कि please मुझे बता दो. तो हम रिपोर्टिंग वर्ब जो है उसमें आस्क्ड यूज कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको रिक्वेस्टेड नहीं आ रहा है दिमाग में, कोई बात नहीं, आप आस्क्ड यूज करो. आस्क्ड के भी आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे, ठीक है, या रिक्वेस्टेड. ओके, नाउ कुड यू गिव मी सम एडवाइस ऑन हाउ आई कुड बी अ बेटर स्कूल कैप्टन. कौन बोल रहा है? ऋषि बोल रहा है अली को. सो हम किससे स्टार्ट करेंगे? ऋषि. किसने पूछा? ऋषि ने पूछा. ओके, नहीं, इसमें इंक्वायर्ड. आयुषी, इंक्वायरी हमेशा आप कुछ बहुत स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन जानने के लिए करते हो. जैसे इस चीज की डेट क्या है, इसके टाइमिंग्स क्या है, ये ओपन कब होता है, क्लोज मत होता है, वो इंक्वायरी होती है. इसमें आप इंक्वायरी नहीं कर रहे हो. या पुलिस की इंक्वायरी होती है, खैर वो छोड़ो, उसके बारे में मत सोचो अभी. इसमें आप परेशान हो. मे बी Rishi is bothered by this. He really wants to become better. So he wants advice. So he is asking for advice, or he is requesting Ali to help him. Inquired cannot be used over here. Okay? So Rishi asked या requested किसको? Ali को. Okay? Rishi asked Ali if you क्या हो जाएगा? You will become he could give me क्या हो जाएगा? him some advice on how I क्या हो जाएगा? he could be a better school captain. And always remember कि Could you give me some advice on how I could become a better school captain? का आंसर yes और no में दिया जा सकता है. Yes, I can give you some advice. No, I cannot give you any advice. है ना? तो yes और no में जब किसी क्वेश्चन का जवाब दिया जा सकता है तो if या whether यूज हो सकता है. लेकिन the nature of this question is not a yes or no question. Did you have breakfast? Yes, I had breakfast. That's enough. But इसमें Rishi wants advice. So it's not purely a yes or no question. हाँ, yes or no में इसका जवाब दिया जा सकता है, but it's not by nature a yes or no question. So you can also say Rishi requested Ali to give him some advice on how he could be a better school captain. Okay? Because दिया नहीं है ना, advice gave क्यों करोगे? Rishi requested Ali to give him advice. Here, अगर अली ने एडवाइस दे दिया होता तो हम बोलते अली गेव ऋषि एडवाइस. बट इसमें दिया नहीं है अभी तक, रिक्वेस्ट किया है देने को. ओके, दैट्स व्हाट वी आर रिपोर्टिंग. सो हम गिव क्यों चेंज करेंगे? गिव तो गिव ही रहेगा. ओके, या दीप्ति, दैट्स ऑल्सो करेक्ट. ओके, all right. See, Vishnu, in this case you will not write, whenever you have a question mark ना, तो said नहीं होगा, asked ही होगा, या फिर requested कभी कभी आ जाता है, inquired कभी कभी आ जाता है, पर said नहीं होगा विष्णु. ठीक है? ओके, advice is what you give. मैं आपको advice दे रही हूँ. Advise is what you do. I am advising you not to do this. ठीक है? Be careful about this, Diditi. Vego, no, you cannot use could he instead of he could. What are you saying? Rishi requested Al to give, if he could, if could he give him, see, whenever you have a question in direct speech, it will not be a question in reported speech. It will always be a statement. Okay? अगर आप could he लिख रहे हो, तो by nature ये हम सिर्फ questions में use करते हैं. ठीक है? Could he जो तरीका है लिखने का, ये सिर्फ questions में use करते हैं. हम लोग जब statement में लिख रहे हैं तो he, could he लिखेंगे. ठीक है? ओह प्रदीप, इतनी जल्दी थक गए आप? ऑलराइट, क्लियर है. रिपोर्टेड स्पीच में ज्यादा कंफ्यूज होने की जरूरत नहीं है. इजी रखो. क्वेश्चन मार्क है, आस्क्ड यूज करो. नहीं समझ में आ रहा और क्या यूज करें तो ओके. हाँ, how he could become a better school captain also works. That's correct. Could become you can use. That will be correct. Not a problem. Yes, I am a lefty. Okay. All right. Next question. Oh, we're done with grammar. Grammar went by quite quickly, and it wasn't that hard, right? Easy था ना? ठीक है? Very good. Ready for writing skills? इसमें we're just going to analyze format और content देखेंगे कैसे लिखा गया है. Okay? All right. My name is Asmita, for those of you who are new here. See, Sammy, you're changing too many things from the thing is, there are endless number of permutation combinations that you can use to make things right, or I mean to report things. I'll go back to this since you still have a lot of questions. There are many combinations that will give you a correct answer. But to be on the safer side, don't deviate too much from the sentence that was given to you. So if you're saying on becoming a better school captain, ठीक है, correct है, आप जो बोल रहे हो वो गलत नहीं है. But you never know who's checking your paper, right? What if they are they have a marking scheme. What if they're like, no, I will only mark this and this correctly, this I will not mark. So don't go too far away from what the original sentence is. It's better to stay close. So instead of changing all of that, if you just simply say, Rishi asked Ali if he could give him some advice on how he could be a better school captain, it's very close to the main sentence, and your scope for getting marks deducted becomes less. Okay? All right? क्यों डर लगता है राइटिंग स्किल्स में? तो डरने वाली कोई बात ही नहीं है. ठीक है, फर्स्ट वी आर राइटिंग अ लेटर. सो दिस योर a lot of you had questions. So first of all, we've done the format many times, but just a reminder, you'll have your sender's address, you will have your date, you will have your receiver's address. Lot of you after this kept saying कि हमारी टीचर ने बोला है कि पहले salutation कर लो, dear ex sir, और उसके बाद subject होगा. ठीक है? बहुत लोग बोलते नहीं, पहले सब्जेक्ट ही बोला है मैम ने और फिर बोला है डियर सर. तो आपको मैं बता दूं, दोनों के आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे. आपको जो कंफर्टेबल है वो करो. आई एम वेरी यूज्ड टू डूइंग सब्जेक्ट फर्स्ट एंड देन सैल्यूटेशन, सो दैट इज हाउ आई हैव taught you. But if you are used to doing this also, then you will get marks for it. It's fine. Okay? Secondly, lot of you are getting marks deducted for yours faithfully or sincerely. तो भूल जाओ yours faithfully. What CBSE has told you वही follow करते हैं. Yours truly for editor. ठीक है, जनरली यही करते हैं हम. एंड योर्स सिंसियरली फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ अ बिजनेस कम्युनिकेशन और फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन. ओके, हाँ कहीं ना कहीं तो काटने होते हैं ना मार्क्स, तो यहीं पे स्कोप मिलता है, इसीलिए यहीं पे कट जाते हैं. बाप रे, अभी भी रिपोर्ट ही नहीं हुआ, इतना टाइम हो गया, वो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं रिपोर्ट हुआ अभी तक. परिसा नॉट जस्ट बेटर, बेटर व्हाट, उसको जानना है कि उसको बेटर ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं बनना है या बेटर राइटर नहीं बनना है, उसको बेटर स्कूल कैप्टन बनना है. सो स्टिक टू व्हाट इज गिवन इन योर डायरेक्ट स्पीच, हाउ टू बिकम अ बेटर स्कूल कैप्टन. Okay, all right. So here is your prompt for the letter. थिंकिंग प्रोसेस क्या आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? आपको इतनी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन दी हुई है, इसमें आपको सोचना ही क्या है? बता देती हूँ आपको. यू आर राकेश मेहता, नाम दे दिया. सेक्रेटरी ऑफ रेनबो अपार्टमेंट्स डेजिग्नेशन दे दी. माराठली बैंगलोर एड्रेस दे दिया. A major pipeline supplying water to your apartment complex burst recently. Repairs are expected to be time consuming. Available water is insufficient. ये सारा आपको बॉडी दे दी. ठीक है. एरिया डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर माराथली एरिया बैंगलोर, आपको रिसीवर्स एड्रेस दे दिया. ठीक है. एंड रिक्वेस्टिंग हिम टू कंप्लीट द वर्क एट द अर्लीस्ट, ड्रॉइंग अटेंशन टू द डिफिकल्टी, ये ऑल्सो आपको बॉडी दे दी. तो सब कुछ is given to you in the prompt itself. So much information is given to you. All you have to do is put it together in a coherent manner. मतलब everything should flow properly, and we've already seen कि flow कैसे होगा properly. आप properly intro लिखोगे, ठीक है, ऐसे कर देती. आप properly body लिखोगे, फिर आप properly conclusion लिखोगे, तो वो flow करेगा ना ठीक से. आप इंट्रो में क्या लिखोगे कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम, मेजर पाइपलाइन सप्लाइंग वाटर हैज बर्स्ट. बॉडी में लिखोगे कि उसकी वजह से क्या क्या दिक्कतें हो रही है, क्या क्या दिक्कतें हो रही है. अवेलेबल वाटर इज इनसफिशिएंट टू मीट द रिक्वायरमेंट्स, इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू प्रोक्योर वाटर फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. इसमें आपका थोड़ा सा स्कोप है टू मेक स्टफ अप. यू कैन मेक अप रैंडम थिंग्स लाइक because of the repair works, it's hard to go outside, procuring water is expensive, time consuming, nobody has the, but there are endless number of things that you can write in this particular area, which is the body of your letter, but you just need to make sure it's logical. And then conclusion is also given. Please complete the repair work at the earliest. Conclusion is always your actionable, that I'm writing a letter to you for you to be able to do this. I want you to do this. I expect you to do this. So that is your conclusion. ठीक है, that is all. And then no. And then you stick to what is written. Na? So yours sincerely, somebody said ki yours sincerely we can write to editor also. But if CBSE is saying that it's preferable to write yours truly to editor, then write yours truly. Why do you want to potentially lose out on some marks? है ना? Okay, what are your concerns? क्या हो गया अब? यश, what are you asking me first of all? मुझे तो समझ ही नहीं आया कि आप पूछ क्या रहे हो. ओके नहीं, सो आप एग्जैक्टली यही करोगे. डोंट से कि हम ये डाल दे, वो डाल दे, ये डाल दे, वो डाल दे. मत डालो कुछ एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन. ओके, सिर्फ यही डालो जो नेसेसरी है, विच आई एम शोइंग यू ऑन स्क्रीन राइट नाउ. लाइन ब्रेक भी वही डालोगे जो आपको अभी दिख रहा है. So Vishnu, don't put to and from when it's not necessary. Why do you want to put extra things? Okay. So here is your sender's address, Rainbow Apartment, Marathali, Bangalore. Here is your date. Date का ये format आप याद कर लो. Okay. Date का ये format याद करोगे तो आपको आज की date कैसे लिखोगे? February 2023. ठीक है. ऐसे लिखनी है डेट, तो फिर कॉमा वॉमा का चक्कर ही नहीं है, कोई कंफ्यूजन ही नहीं होगी. यू वोंट बी कंफ्यूज्ड about where to put a comma, and if you're doing things correctly, just memorize this format. Then you have your receiver's address. Okay? ठीक है? Then you write the subject, or you write your salutation and then the subject, whatever you are comfortable with. I am usually more comfortable with putting the subject first, so we will put the subject first. Subject should be short, sweet, one-line subject. Here we can say requesting timely completion of pipeline repair work. Okay? Albin C, it's given to you over here. Not more than 120 words. Okay? So your body is only being counted, no? So jaisa how you write your long answer in literature, same thing. Over here in the letter also. Okay? Anshul is writing the date of your exam only. Very nice. Okay. So dear sir, this is with reference to the ongoing repair work. This will be your intro. Intro answers. The question. Why you are writing this letter? I'm writing this letter with reference to the ongoing repair work of the water supply lines in our area that burst earlier this week. Given to you directly in the question, है ना? कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है. Aditya, yes, but then just write your own name, na? You can write your own name also. You can write XYZ, that's okay. But it's easier to just write your own name. Okay, here's the body of the letter. Okay, body mein what are you being told? Or what are you saying? We were informed that the repair work will be a lengthy and time-consuming process. We have around 2,000 families and staff living in our apartment complex. While we have the provision for water in our overhead water storage tanks, the stored water will be insufficient to meet everybody's daily needs. So here your imagination can run wild. Whatever potential problems you can think of those problems and put them in the body. कि आपके रिपेयर वर्क की वजह से हमें ये पता चला है कि पानी का सप्लाई इनसफिशिएंट होगा. इनसफिशिएंट होने की वजह से क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी. सो यहाँ यू हैव लिस्टेड कि हमारी इतनी फैमिलीज हैं, उनको इतना पानी चाहिए होता है, हमारे पास ओवरहेड स्टोरेज टैंक्स है लेकिन वो इनसफिशिएंट होंगे सबकी नीड्स मीट करने के लिए, एंड स्पेशली सिंस द पीक ऑफ समर. Additionally, the surrounding area has also been dug up for repairs. तो क्योंकि repairs का काम चल रहा है, हम लोग जाके पानी भी नहीं ला सकते. It's becoming very very inconvenient. Okay, so making the and tankers भी अंदर नहीं आ रहे. So making the tanker drivers reluctant to come inside. Procuring water through them is very expensive. Cost is also an issue. So the quality from these sources is also poor. So you've written all the possible things that. Do you see a comma over here? Those of you asking me if you should put a comma. If you don't see a comma over here, then you're not supposed to put a comma. Okay? Alright? And no, this will look exactly like this. So here, body mein you have explained all the problems, inconvenience, insufficient, cost, okay, reluctance of drivers to come in. All of it is done. Then I sincerely, this will be your concluding line. I sincerely request you to address this problem at the earliest and ensure the completion of the repair work. As always, this is your actionable. जिसको भी आप लिख रहे हो लेटर, आप उससे क्या करवाना चाहते हो वो आपका लास्ट लाइन बन जाएगा, कंक्लूजन बन जाएगा. Okay, then yours truly, signature राकेश मेहता, secretary designation was also given to you. कर दो. Either write signature or do a signature, whatever you feel. Just cursive में लिख दो ऐसे. And then उसके नीचे ऐसे लिख देना. Okay? No, Yash, this should exactly what you see over here. Wherever you see a line break, there only you will put a line break. Okay? Shalini, this is made up information. See, आपको जितना दिया गया है आपको वो तो लिखना ही है, पर उसके ऊपर आप और भी लिख सकते हो जो लॉजिकल है. आप 2000 की बजाय 5000 फैमिलीज लिख दो. ठीक है, आपको नंबर ऑफ फैमिलीज नहीं स्पेसिफाई करना, आप मत करो, दैट्स अप टू यू. बट द इंफॉर्मेशन दैट यू पुट इन द बॉडी टू मीट योर वर्ड लिमिट, दैट यू कैन मेक अप. ओके, एंड यू विल मेक इट अप डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट यू हैव बीन टोल्ड. सो अगर अपार्टमेंट्स है हमारे थली में बैंगलोर में, तो अपार्टमेंट्स में ऑब्वियसली बहुत सारी फैमिलीज रहती है. ओके, तो यू कैन सेफली अज्यूम कि 2000 फैमिलीज तो होंगी वहां पे. ऑल राइट. Aditya, nothing bad will happen except for the fact that you'll waste your time. थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे तो चलता ही है, that's completely okay. But बहुत ज़्यादा मत बढ़ जाना आगे कि 3-4 पेज लिख दिया आपने. Albin, yes, you can. I hope you will ensure the timely completion of the repair work. You can write that. Okay. Know yours faithfully. I told you yours truly कर लो या yours sincerely कर लो. ठीक है? बिकॉज कब कैसे फिर मार्क्स एकदम से कट जाते नहीं समझ में आता. इवन दो योर्स फेथफुली इज एक्सेप्टेबल, कुछ लोगों के मार्क्स कटे हैं पास्ट में. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू कि आप ये दोनों यूज कर लो. एडिटर है तो योर्स ट्रूली, वरना कोई बिजनेस कम्युनिकेशन है तो योर्स सिंसियरली. ओके. रिलक्टेंट मीन्स नॉट विलिंग टू. अगर मैं रिलक्टेंट हूँ किसी चीज को करने के लिए तो मैं करना नहीं चाहती, वो मेरा मन नहीं है करने का. ओके. Yes, signature is necessary. See, writing skills में कुछ नहीं है. आप कुछ भी piece of writing उठाओगे, आपको सिर्फ ये याद रखना है कि आप intro, body और conclusion follow कर रहे हो. अब देखो, मैं आपके साथ सेशन ले रही हूँ. मेरे इंट्रो में मैं आपको क्या बोलती हूँ, हाय वेलकम टू द क्लास, आज हम ये पढ़ने वाले हैं. तो मैंने आपको ये बता दिया कि आज का सेशन किस बारे में. इंट्रो हो गया. बॉडी में हम पढ़ाई करते हैं. कंक्लूजन में मैं आपको बोलती हूँ आई होप आपको सब कुछ समझ में आ गया. और नहीं समझ में आ गया तो आप बाद में बता सकते हो. आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन. ये सेम लॉजिक आपको अप्लाई करना है हर चीज़ की. इंट्रो, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन में. आप लेटर लिख रहे हो, इंट्रो में लेटर में आप क्या प्रॉब्लम के बारे में लिखने वाले हो वो लिखोगे. बॉडी में आप वो प्रॉब्लम लिखोगे. कंक्लूजन में आप लिखोगे कि आई होप आप मेरी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दोगे. ओके, ठीक है. चलो, अनदर लेटर ओवर हियर. यू आर पॉली चावला. इसमें भी नेम दिया हुआ है, वॉली पार्क, मुंबई. You saw documentary about the youth of the nation titled A Country in Good Hands. Write a letter of appreciation to the editor of the Youth Times, drawing her attention to the good that youngsters around you are doing. Okay? Suggest ways in which you can further contribute to betterment of society. तो जैसे आप ये पढ़ रहे हो, आप सोच लो कि क्या क्या चीज़ें कर रहे हैं. You know, maybe youngsters are planting more trees, maybe they are cleaning their societies, maybe they are cleaning the beach, maybe they are spreading awareness about certain things. These are the different things that youngsters can do to make the country better, right? So just think in your own head what these different things are and put them in one letter. Okay? So here, now if it's not specified, then choose whatever you want to write. सर लिखना है. अगर आपको बताया गया कि ये सर है या मैम है तो आप उस अकॉर्डिंग लिखोगे, वरना you can assume. See, it's not necessary, Diditi, but if you wish to, then you can go ahead and incorporate it. Your marks won't get deducted for it. Okay? All right, here's your sender's address. Here's your date. Here's your receiver's address. Here's your subject. The future of the country is in safe hands of our youth. Here, dear madam, this is reference to the documentary I saw. तो ये आपका intro हो गया. Again आप लिख रहे हो कि क्यों मैं ये letter लिख रही हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने एक documentary देखी थी और मुझे उसके बारे में आपको कुछ बताना है. Okay? Here is the body. It is heartening to see youngsters. Now, body doesn't always have to be one paragraph. You can break it down. अगर आपको लग रहा है बहुत लंबी हो रही है, और if you're changing your thoughts, for example, you spoke about something and then you want to change your thought, then you can give a new paragraph also. That's fine. ठीक है? So, it is heartening to see youngsters participate in different activities to improve society, such as helping to keep the neighborhood clean by organizing cleanliness drives, assisting the elderly with their chores, feeding stray animals, and so on. So, like I told you, you think of the different ways you think that youngsters are helping. I also gave you 3-4 things. Here also, cleanliness drives, assisting elderly, feeding stray animals, okay? Number of things that people can do. Okay, their feelings of belongingness and patriotism are at the core of all their actions and decisions. They are living up to the values instilled in them by the great leaders of the past. They work hard till their goals are achieved. We can encourage the youth to do more for society by having them volunteer. So there were 2 parts in the question. One was to appreciate what everybody is doing that you saw in the documentary. Second is how you can contribute more. So this is about how you can contribute more. We can encourage the youth to do more for society by having them volunteer for causes that they are interested in and spreading awareness on issues that plague society. Okay. You can also say that, you can have a volunteer program where the volunteers will get benefits for volunteering and doing things, like extra, maybe some kind of honor in their schools, or some kind of help in their college applications later on, whatever you wish to write. Okay, so this is entirely up to you. Then through this letter, I wish to appreciate these youngsters and highlight their many positive contributions to society. Yours truly, Polly Chawla, resident, and signature in between. Okay, ठीक है. Vaishnavi, it will be as long as your paper is. So we have almost done with the सेक्शन बी ऑल्सो. सेक्शन सी ही रहता है. इसके बाद एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ करने के बाद सेक्शन सी में घुसेंगे सीधा. ओके, नो, यू विल नॉट राइट योर सिंसियरली हियर बिकॉज क्लियरली एडिटर को लिखनी है. सो एडिटर को जब लिख रहे हो तो योर्स ट्रूली ही लिख दो. ओके, आई नो, सी the thing is language is subjective. You need to understand that आपने अपने हिसाब से बहुत अच्छी intro body conclusion लिखा है, but कहीं ना कहीं जो पढ़ रहा है उसको हो सकता है कोई कमी नजर आ जाए. But they will not unjustifiably cut your marks. Maybe there's scope for a little bit of improvement. That's why they don't give full marks. But they will not cut your marks just because they don't like the way you've written it. As long as it's correct, logical, and it makes sense, then you will get your marks. Okay, Arjun, why are you depressed? What happened? First you share what happened, what made you depressed, and then we can figure out how to make your day better. Okay, nahi, aap Parisa, you'll write yours truly in this letter. See, it's to the editor, so just write yours truly. Why? Just follow this to be on the safest side, so you will never lose marks. If you are writing to the editor, write yours truly. Okay? Okay. So here's an excerpt from an article in a fashion magazine. Means it's a small part of a bigger article. And what is written here? Colorism is the term describing the preference for lighter skin. Several of the world's biggest advertising firms have come under severe criticism for selling beauty products that promise whiter skin. What is worse is the manner in which these fairness products are being promoted. The parallel drawn between being fair and being successful. The perfect fair heroines showcased in movies, celebrity endorsements of fairness products, and matrimonial advertisements where everyone seeks a fair bride. The type of advertising has created an inferiority complex among darker-skinned women, as seen in the rising sales of fairness cosmetics. This form of biased advertising has come under harsh criticism. Are we as a society encouraging and supporting colorism? Write a paragraph, 100 to 120 words, to analyze the given argument. You could think about what alternative explanations might weaken the given conclusion and include rationale, evidence that would strengthen or counter the given argument. Okay? So, you are supposed to pick a side because you're giving an argument. Okay? Argument में आप side pick करोगे कि आप agree करते हो कि आप disagree करते हो इस चीज से. Once you are sure if you're agreeing or disagreeing, then you formulate your passage. So first you make up your mind, am I agreeing with this, am I disagreeing with this? Then you decide how to go about writing your paragraph. And whatever side you pick, you need to come up with good arguments on your own. So make sure you pick a side that you sort of do believe in, because that will enable you to come up with better arguments. Okay? Yes, Vidisha, you can write that. But see, in the subject of a letter, it always helps to write what you want out of writing this letter. So you want it to be repaired as soon as possible. So including that in the subject always helps. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to get started with the paragraph. Let's quickly take a look at it. Parisa, see, if you get your format right, if you're not making any of those mistakes, वो marks तो पक्के हैं. आपके marks कटते होंगे content में. Content भी हमने discuss कर लिया है कि कैसे लिखना है. So I'm sure your marks will improve. Don't worry. You can get, Urvashi, the practice paper PDF you can get anywhere online. You can get on the CBSE website as well. Okay? Alright, so here, how are you getting marks for this? You're getting 2 marks for content, if all your points are included, if it all makes sense. So now we're going to see a for and against argument. For argument mein, we are saying the desire to be beautiful is natural. What is not natural is determining that only one type of skin color is beautiful. We need to be inclusive of all skin tones and look at the diversity of beauty. So I hope you all understood. Let's go back for a second. Let's all come back to the same page. So here, what is this passage saying? This excerpt from the magazine is saying that colorism is a preference for lighter skin, and it's a bad thing that's happening in society because this promise of whiter skin and the fact that having lighter skin is all associated with being more successful in life, all these notions are actually making life very difficult for darker skinned women. It's giving them an inferiority complex, and it's also promoting something that as a society we should not be believing in, right? So this form of biased advertising has come under harsh criticism because it makes darker skinned women feel like they are not good enough, and it also promotes the wrong notion that only if you are fair can you be successful in life. Okay, so are we as a society encouraging and supporting colorism? So you need to say that yes, we as a society are promoting colorism by doing all of these things, or you need to argue that no, we are not promoting colorism by doing all of these things. Okay, so for argument में क्या लिखा है? The desire to be beautiful is natural. What is not natural is determining that only one type of skin color is beautiful. We need to be inclusive of all skin tones and look at the diversity of beauty. Every skin color shade is beautiful. Additionally, beauty is not only skin deep. We need to stop equating light colored skin with beauty because black is beautiful too. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and therefore it is a very subjective matter. Discrimination on the basis of skin shade is therefore not logical. Many such discriminations have been defeated over the past decades. We should stop encouraging ads that promote colorism. Let us not regress but rather progress. Real beauty is the personality and the qualities of a person. The focus should lie on being beautiful from within rather than obsessing over outer beauty. Okay? Shalini, yes, but over here we are talking about, you can obviously give examples, but here this is more about women because these different products that we've spoken about, these fairness creams, they are mostly catering to women, and it's usually women who are, as in our society, expected to be more beautiful, take care of them, how they look, outwardly appearance and all of that. So it would help your argument if you're able to give examples of successful black women or dark-skinned women. They don't just have to be African American or of African origin. They can also be dark-skinned and Indian. Okay? Finish karte. Vaishnavi will finish. We just have section C. Section C jaldi ho jayega. Okay? Alright, so this was your for argument. Your against argument can be, we as a society have always been obsessed with fair skin tone, and it is time to put a stop to this. The prejudice has been around for way too long, including in our books, movies and real life. We find a wonderful example in the children's fairy tale Snow White, where her mother, the wicked queen, asks the magic mirror who is the fairest of them all. And the mirror replies saying that Snow White is the most beautiful, thus stressing on inner beauty rather than our outer appearance. Fair skin instills confidence and sets one up for success. Fairer people seem to get better job deals and life partners, so it's natural that people will desire to be fair. If some people want to use beauty products to make their skin lighter, they should be allowed to do so without criticism, as it is a matter of personal choice. So a very important thing to note here, हमारी for argument में और अगेंस्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट में हमने किसके फॉर और अगेंस्ट आर्ग्यू किया? हमने कलरिज्म के फॉर और अगेंस्ट आर्ग्यू नहीं किया. हमने ये नहीं बोला कि कलरिज्म सही चीज है. दैट्स नॉट समथिंग वी कैन एनीवे आर्ग्यू बिकॉज it is a bad thing, but we are arguing in our against argument that if somebody wants to have lighter skin because apparently it has been seen that it helps people land better jobs, better life partners, or gives them more success in life, then it's a choice that they are free to make. Okay, so we cannot just say that promoting these creams is bad, because if somebody wants to utilize these products because it will give them a better life, then it's a choice that they are free to make. This is what the against argument is saying. So the against argument is not saying that no, colorism is a good thing. Okay, that lighter skinned people should have an advantage over darker skinned people. That is not the kind of argument you're making. Okay, so be very careful about the argument that you're making, and always pad it up with good facts, with good insights, or whatever opinion that you want to give. Okay, पर सर इतने मार्क्स नहीं कट होंगे, जैसे आप डिपेंड करता है कितनी स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स कर रहे हो. बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहे हो तो हो जाएंगे कट, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं कर रहे, एक दो होता है तो वो चल जाएगा, वो इग्नोर हो जाएगा. ओके मुस्तफ़ा, yes, they can ask you about a metaphor and we've done a session on poetic devices, तो आप जाके वो सेशन देख लो, आपको बहुत हेल्प करेगा. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास क्या है? हमारे पास ये एक पाई चार्ट है. पाई चार्ट में हमें एक फैमिली के एक्सपेंडिचर के बारे में बताया गया है, मतलब वो किन किन चीज़ों में पैसा खर्च करते हैं. सो फूड में 30% कर लेंगे, एजुकेशन में 25%, हेल्थ केयर में 10 कर रहे हैं, रेंट में 10 कर रहे हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट में 5 और मिसलेनियस मतलब शायद अपनी रिक्रिएशन या इधर उधर की चीज़ों में 20. Okay, so write a paragraph in about 100-120 words analyzing the information in the pie chart to support your stand on how the family is using their money wisely. So आप क्या बोल रहे हो कि हाँ family is using their money wisely. How will you support this stance? You will use this information given. Okay, so you will say the monthly expenditure of a family is represented in the given pie chart. Food and education make up 30 and 25% respectively. The family spends most on these two areas. Miscellaneous items come in next in order of percentage, that is 20, which comprises of money spent on both essential and luxury goods such as clothes, gadgets, vacations, etc. Healthcare and rent take up 10% each. Transportation takes up the last 5%. Overall, the data shows that the family does maintain a good balance on expenditure. After spending on food, they have spent a significant amount on education. Spending 25% on it shows that the family gives it a lot of importance. About 80% of the total money is spent on liabilities and the remaining 20% is spent on other items. In conclusion, we can say that this family spends its money wisely indeed. Okay, so you can say things like, you can support your stance by saying that, you know, food is essential, it's required to survive, so the fact that they're spending 30% on food makes sense. Education is very important, it takes us ahead in life, it equips us for our future. So 25% on education also makes sense. And however, whenever you're making an argument for something, then you have to state why it's good. So here you will add things like good balance, they are spending on education because it's important. So you need to give those kind of pointers to prove your argument. Okay, all right, so this was a rather easy writing section, I feel. The colorism one was a little tricky, but then you could have always chosen to do the pie chart one instead. ठीक है, जल्दी से कर लेते हैं section C literature, ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा. Yes, Vaishnav, you can take India का example. आप इंडियन हो, आप इंडिया का एग्जाम्पल लो. देव प्रसाद, यू सपोज टू गिव आइडियाज ऑफ योर ओन. ओके, यू आर ओनली टोल्ड कि आपको लिखना है कि हाँ ये लोग अपना एक्सपेंडिचर सही करते हैं. अब आप अपने आइडियाज दोगे कि सही क्यों करते हैं. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि गलत करते हैं. यू कैन नॉट से दे आर नॉट स्पेंडिंग वाइजली बिकॉज द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड यू टू prove that they are doing their expenditure wisely. Okay, all right, here we go. Section C. Now here you have an this is an extract based question, but since you all know the story A Letter to God, I'm not going to read the extract. We're just going to move on to the question. Colorism and racism are similar, Viraj. Racism has more to do with race, as in मैं Indian हूँ, आप नहीं हो, तो मैं आपके against discriminate कर दूंगा because you don't belong to the same race as me. But colorism has to do with literally the color of your skin. So I can discriminate against other people belonging to the same race as me depending upon their skin color as well, based on the color of their skin. So that's how they differ. Okay? We'll quickly finish it. ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं, 20 मिनट में खत्म करते हैं. ओके, देन वी कैन हैव अ गुड ब्रेक. फिर वापस आने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. ऑल राइट, सो हियर व्हाई वाज लेंचो नॉट सरप्राइज्ड व्हेन ही रिसीव्ड द मनी. एक्सट्रैक्ट इज ऑल्सो गिवन टू यू. एग्जाम में आपको एक्सट्रैक्ट भी आएगा. अगर आपको कंफ्यूजन होती है आप एक्सट्रैक्ट पढ़ोगे, वरना आप सबको पता है कि क्यों लेंचो सरप्राइज नहीं था. बिकॉज ही हैड फेथ इन गॉड. इजी क्वेश्चन है. नेक्स्ट जा रही हूँ. हाउ डिड द पोस्टमास्टर मोस्ट लाइकली फील when he read Lencho's second letter? 1 mark का क्वेश्चन है. एक लाइन में लिख दो that the postmaster most likely felt. क्या अगर आपने किसी के लिए कुछ अच्छा किया है और सामने से वो आप ही को बुरा बोले तो आपको कैसा लगेगा? बुरा लगेगा. तो you can say sad, disappointed, upset, hurt, whatever you want. Okay, so postmaster most likely felt sad, upset, hurt, disappointed, whatever. Okay, now the postmaster rushed to open Lencho's second letter. This tells us that the postmaster was blank to know the contents of the letter. What did the postmaster do? He rushed to open the letter. So वो उतावले हो रहे थे, right? उतावले होने को क्या बोलते हैं? Eager. So he was eager to know the contents of the letter. You can also say he was excited to know. You can also say he was curious to know. Okay? Or any other synonym of this kind will work here. Okay? नो, शॉक नहीं बोल सकते बिकॉज अभी तक उन्होंने देखा नहीं है. मैं भागते हुए जा रही हूँ लेटर खोलने के लिए, तो मैं क्या हूँ? मैं ईगर हूँ, क्यूरियस हूँ, एक्साइटेड हूँ. अभी तक मैंने खोली नहीं है. खोल के शॉक लगेगा बाद में. ओके, ठीक है. अनिमेश, नो इट विल नॉट जनरली, सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. ठीक है. व्हाई डिड लेंचो रिंकल हिज ब्राउ एंड राइटिंग द लेटर? ऐसे क्यों लिखी? क्योंकि it's given right here in case you don't remember. Immediately Lencho he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So he had to make an effort to express his ideas, which means he was not able to put his thoughts into words. A, super easy. Okay. Deprasad, no. Your analysis is important, not the exact words used in the story. Okay, which of these uses the word stamp with the same meaning as used in line 5? Where is stamp? Yeah, there we go. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed on the envelope. तो इसमें हम कौन से स्टैम्प की बात कर रहे हैं? जो हम लेटर पे लगाते हैं. लेटर में पोस्टल स्टैम्प जो लगाते हैं उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. स्टैम्प्स बहुत तरीके के होते हैं, बट इन द स्टोरी वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लेटर पे लगने वाला स्टैम्प. सो विच ऑफ दी सेंटेंसेस टॉक्स अबाउट दैट सेम स्टैम्प? Simon has an impressive stamp collection that he liked to. This is talking about the same stamp. Okay. Shalini, brows, eyebrows, जो आपके forehead में ही होती है. Okay. Mustafa, no, it's not necessary. It depends on the question. Okay, समझ में आया? इसमें स्टैम्प मतलब किसी के ऊपर पैर रखना है. इसमें साइमन हैप्पीली गेव अ स्टैम्प ऑफ of approval मतलब it's not a literal stamp, it's a metaphorical stamp कि मैं इसको approve करता हूँ. Simon bears a stamp of a retired naval officer. इसमें भी हम physical stamp की बात नहीं कर रहे, सिर्फ B में हम physical stamp की बात कर रहे जो letters पे लगता है. Okay? Now this is footprints without feet. ठीक है? Story सबको मालूम है तो हम extract नहीं पढ़ेंगे. Let's go ahead. And this is talking about the time when the stranger arrives, Griffin basically arrives at the inn, and because he looks really weird, everybody looks at him suspiciously. So in which of these does ready have the same meaning as used in the extract? तो इधर ready हमारा extract में use हो रहा है cash के साथ. Okay. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. Okay? So, ready cash, आप देखोगे ready इसमें is being used like an adjective for the noun cash. Okay? Ready is the adjective, मतलब कि available cash. Ready to spend वाला cash. तो हमें इन options में भी देखना है कि ready adjective की तरह कहाँ use हो रहा है. Griffin didn't believe that he was ready to speak before the audience. नहीं ये नहीं है. The landlord usually got the rooms ready before the guests arrived. ये भी नहीं है. Mrs. Hall said that there was a ready supply of food at the hotel. Correct. Because ready is being used as an adjective for supply. Okay. And the stranger was getting ready to take on a new challenge. Not correct. So the correct answer would be C. ठीक है. Ready cash. Adjective हो गया ready, ready supply, adjective हो गया ready. Okay? All right. Very good. Let's move ahead. Complete the analogy by selecting a suitable word from the text. So analogy क्या है? Arrival और exit क्या है? Opposites है, antonyms है. So company का हमें opposite चाहिए, antonym चाहिए. So where will we find it? Solitude. There we go. Company मतलब बहुत लोगों के साथ होना, solitude मतलब अकेले होना. So the answer here will be solitude. ठीक है? All right. Oh no, Vaishnavi, please take care of yourself. You can always come back and watch the session later if you're not feeling well right now. ठीक है? तबीयत का ध्यान रखो. That's very important. Okay. Which of these is true about the inn? Its location was remote. No, there were a lot of people there. Its customers were mainly local. Yes. That's why they were. That's why it was strange for them to see this other unusual stranger walk in. It was a popular tourist destination. That's not mentioned anywhere, and it required rent to be paid in advance. Okay, so I think there still is a little bit of a lag. Sarah, we are also doing all the questions. हम सिर्फ वो नहीं कर रहे जो आप. There are questions that you don't have to attempt. जैसे writing में हमने चारों चीजें कर ली. You just have to do 2 things. Okay. All right. Next question. Why did the people start talking about the stranger's arrival? People started talking about the stranger's arrival because, first of all, he had a very uncommon appearance, and he was not talking to anybody because of his desire for solitude. So, because he was mostly quiet, and because he was dressed in a strange manner. So, our correct answer is A. Only 1 and 5. Okay? In Shraddha is, जैसे whenever you travel to a particular place, there'll be a lot of hotels on the side. आप देखते होगे. अभी तो हम hotels और motels बोलते हैं, but पहले हम inn बोलते थे, जहाँ पे travelers used to like spend a night. Or you could also go there, eat. Okay? So it's usually a place where you can have meals and you can also get a room and stay in it. All right. Mrs. Hall was prepared to ignore Griffin's rudeness and weird behavior. State two reasons why this was so. First of all, because she just accepted the fact that he's a scientist and some geniuses are usually a little cuckoo. So, because she felt that Griffin was a peculiar scientist, that's why she was willing to ignore his behavior. Secondly, she wanted to make money, right? It was her inn, so she wanted to be paid advance rent, which Griffin was willing to give, right? Here you can find your answers. So, not always did such an opportunity appeared before Mrs. Hall that somebody was willing to pay all the rent in advance. So she wanted to make that money, which is why these two are the reasons that you can write. Okay? Yes. What is your doubt? Doubt, पूछो क्या doubt है? Animesh, it's good to know. It sometimes is a valuable addition to your answers. And for example, somebody like Nelson Mandela, knowing about his life is important for you to write better answers. But आप पढ़ लो सारी, पर ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको word to word याद होनी चाहिए. Okay? प्रदीप खत्म होने वाला है. What is your doubt? Doubt तो पूछो. I have a doubt, I have a doubt, I have a doubt, I have a doubt. Doubt क्या है वो नहीं पूछ रहे. Darshana, yes, you should know the name of the poets and the writers. That is always a good thing to know. Poets का तो especially. वो question भी आ जाएगा. आपको writers भी याद कर लो. Sentence. You write a sentence. Short sentence, बहुत लंबा नहीं, but words मत लिखो. Make it a full sentence, okay? All right. This is your how to tell wild animals. The part with the Bengal tiger and the leopard is given to you over here. We won't read it right now because you know the poem. We'll just move on to questions. What, Vishnu, explain what again? Pradeep, only tips are you should know the stories properly. Extract based question mein you don't even have to worry. You can treat it like a reading passage because the passage is given to you. ठीक है, उसमें कोई problem नहीं है. Next, if you know the gist of the story, then you will be able to answer the long questions, not something to worry about. And the 40-50 word questions are also surprisingly short. आपको लग रहा है 40-50 words बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. ठीक है? Okay. बेस्ट प्रेपरेशन लिटरेचर सेशन के लिए तो यही है कि आप बस चैप्टर पढ़ लो, समरी देख लो, आपको समझ में आना चाहिए सब कुछ. उससे ज़्यादा आप प्रिपेयर नहीं कर सकते इसके लिए. विष्णु, क्वेश्चन बताओ क्या था? वॉज इट अबाउट ग्रिफिन? ओके. The word discern in line 6 of the extract means the same as, where is line 6? The Bengal tiger to discern. हाँ, correct. So identify is correct. Identify कर सकते हो, recognize कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Detect कर सकते हो. No would not be exactly correct over here because when you हाँ, पहचानना identify करना होता है, correct. डिसर्न करना भी पहचानना ही होता है. और आप यहाँ से भी समझ जाओगे कि वो आपको बोल रही है कि अगर वो ये करेगा तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि बंगाल टाइगर है. ठीक है? शिव, इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट, इट्स नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट, इट्स एक्चुअली क्वाइट इजी. ठीक है? हो जाएगा अच्छा पेपर. Darshana, don't write a phrasal verb here. I would suggest look for one word instead of a phrasal verb. So recognize, identify, All of these are easier. Something you can directly substitute over here would be a good option. The simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to identify or to recognize. Okay? To find out and to know will not be correct. ठीक है? Now here you have a poetic device with black stripes on a yellow ground whose hide with spots is peppered. So it's telling you exactly. Okay? Yellow ground hai, black stripes hai, okay, and hide with spots peppered. तो ये बहुत vividly आपको describe कर रहा है कि कैसा दिखता है वो. तो this is a case of imagery. And what is explaining imagery? A word or phrase that creates a mental image through vivid description. Vivid मतलब बहुत detailed description. ठीक है? Correct? या शिव यू विल गेट. एक्सट्रैक्ट में आपको बता दिया जाएगा कि किसका एक्सट्रैक्ट दिया गया है. डोंट वरी. Okay, state whether the following is true or false. The extract tells us the similarities between tigers and leopards. Is that the point of the extract? Is it telling you similarities between tiger and leopard, or is it telling you कि tiger को कैसे पहचानना है, leopard को कैसे पहचानना है, और funny way में बता रहे? It's not telling you, right? So the answer is false. Very good. Yes, false. Okay. Select the appropriate option. The tone of the poet when telling how to identify a wild animal is both scary and... Now, इसमें आप देखोगे a noble, or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. So obviously वो seriously नहीं बोल रही है ना, ये तो funny चीज़ है कि अगर आपको खा जाए तो notice कर लेना. Obviously if wild animal eats, that cannot be literal, it's funny, right? So the poet का tone is which of these options? Funny. Very good. A. Yes. Okay, now identify the option that has the same rhyme scheme. इसमें क्या है? Or if sometime when roaming round, round को A कर देते हैं. A noble wild beast greets you, you को B कर देते हैं. Black stripes on a yellow ground, ground and round both rhyme. A, just notice if he eats you. B. So it's A, B, A, B. ठीक है? And which other poem has the same rhyme scheme? Sand, land, way, day. So the answer is C. Okay? Okay, Aditya, we can pick up some questions from that also. Don't worry. Kiran, funny makes you laugh. Exciting doesn't have to make you laugh. Exciting can get you excited for something, make you look forward to something, or make you happy, but it doesn't have to be ha 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 funny. Okay? Shiv, yes. And it's not something that's very difficult to learn anyway, so याद कर लो, एक बारी में हो जाएगा. Dhanya, you look at the last word. For example, round over here. तो मैंने round को बोल दिया कि A है, ठीक है? U और round rhyme नहीं करते हैं, तो मैंने U को बोल दिया B है. Ground और round rhyme करते हैं, है ना? तो राउंड को मैंने क्या बोला था? ए. तो मैं ग्राउंड को भी ए बोल दूंगी. और यू तो सेम ही वर्ड है, तो बी. तो इसका राइम स्कीम हो गया ए बी. ओके? सिमिलरली इधर सैंड और लैंड दोनों राइम कर रहे हैं, तो दोनों को मैंने ए लिख दिया. और वे और डे दोनों राइम कर रहे हैं, तो दोनों को मैंने बी लिख दिया. तो ए बी सेम राइम स्कीम हो गई. आप ऑप्शन ए देखो, सनी और फनी राइम करते हैं तो दोनों ए हो गए, और सिट एंड बिट राइम करते हैं तो दोनों बी हो गए. तो इसका राइम स्कीम हो गया ए बी. ठीक है? ए बी. इसमें ए कर देती हूँ वास्टर एंड डिजास्टर को, कॉन्टिनेंट को बी कर देती हूँ, पर कॉन्टिनेंट और जेस्चर तो राइम नहीं कर रहा, जेस्चर वास्टर और डिजास्टर से भी राइम नहीं कर रहा, तो इसको सी कर दिया, तो ये ए बी ए सी हो गया. ठीक है. ऑल राइट, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन अमांडा से है. वी वोंट रीड, दिस इज द Rapunzel bit. Okay. Which of these reflects a speaker's tone in the second stanza of the extract? Second stanza में क्या tone है? Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anybody would think that I nagged you, Amanda. इसमें the tone is critical, कि ये मत करो, वो मत करो, ऐसे क्यों करो, वैसे क्यों करो, and commanding. Stop doing this, stop doing that. Okay? So, the correct answer is A, 1 and 5. All right? Neha, if there is no rhyme scheme, then it's free verse. If there's no rhyme scheme, then we say that it's written in free verse. Okay? All right. Why has line 6 of the extract been referred to as ironical? Ironical, irony. क्या होता है? Irony is when the exact opposite of what you're expecting happens. Okay? So if the exact opposite of what you're expecting happens, or if the exact opposite of what is true is said, we call it irony. Here, what is the last line? Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So this person is saying कि ये सब कुछ मत करो वरना ऐसा लगेगा कि मैं तुम्हें nag कर रही हूँ. But reality क्या है? वो actually में Amanda को nag कर रही है, right? Okay, so what is ironical? It's the fact that the speaker is doing exactly what she says that she's not doing, which is nagging Amanda. Okay? जिन सबको जो मुझसे अभी पूछ रहे हैं ये क्या पोएटिक डिवाइस है, इसका मतलब क्या है, हाँ पोएटिक डिवाइसेस में सेशन हो चुका है, प्लीज जाके वो सेशन देख लो. ओके, फिगर ऑफ स्पीच, लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस, पोएटिक डिवाइसेस, सबका बहुत अच्छा सा सेशन हो चुका है. वो सेशन आप जाके देख लोगे, आपको सब समझ में आ जाएगा. डरने की कोई बात नहीं है, हमने सब पढ़ लिया है, सब आता है आपको. Okay, identify the reason Amanda says she will never let down her hair. What is the reason? She wishes to be left alone. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair because I don't want anybody to climb up and enter my tower just like Rapunzel. I mean, not like Rapunzel, because Rapunzel used to let her hair down and her prince used to climb up. She doesn't want that. Amanda wants to be left alone. Alright, complete the analogy with a word from the extract. Life, death, opposites. Correct? So here we need to find the opposite of grinning. What is the opposite of grinning? It's right here, sulking. Grinning मतलब बहुत widely smile करना, and sulking मतलब मुंह सुजा के बैठ जाना कि मैं बहुत नाराज हूँ. ठीक है? Not nagging, sulking. Grinning मतलब smiling, sulking मतलब Okay? All right. Select the sentence in which the word bright is used in a similar manner as line 3 of the extract. So, bright over here is describing hair. Bright in the third line of the extract is describing hair. So, we need to use bright in a similar manner. Let's look at the options. Shekhar is a very bright child. Here it's describing a living thing, a child. Rama looked bright and chirpy. Here it's describing Rama. Bobby's shirt was so bright and cheerful. Okay. And Hemant has such bright prospects for the future. Here we are describing Hemant. So when I say that bright is describing hair, what is it describing? It's describing the color of the hair. Okay. So here when we are saying Shekhar is a very bright child, we are not describing the color of the child. So that's not using it in the same way. Here when we say that bright is describing Rama, it's not describing Rama's color. Similarly, Hemant ka color nahi describe kar raha hai bright. So the only option where we're using bright to describe the color of something is Bobby's shirt. Okay? Alright. So here we have the 40 to 50 words each wale answers. And आपको जब आप marking scheme देखोगे, for those of you who weren't able to get their hands on the document, I will pin it in the comments. I'll get it pinned in the comments for you. तो आप marking scheme देखोगे, उसमें आपको value points दिए हुए. These are points that if you add to your answer, मतलब सारे नहीं, इनमें से कुछ भी आप जो add करोगे, उसके basis पे आपको marks मिलेंगे. तो when we are writing these short answers, obviously we cannot include all of this वरना हम word limit exceed कर लेंगे, but we'll include similar points. So you can go back and take a look at all the value points. Currently I have some answers for you that you can take a look at. So we will quickly do that. Here the question is, explain the given statement with reference to Nelson Mandela's dream. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Okay? So here we are. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. How do we explain this statement with reference to Nelson Mandela's dreams? Here are 3 answers written for you. 1, 2, 3. We can take a look at all of them and you will understand how to answer. So an integral quality of a winner is to never give up. Nelson Mandela demonstrated this in his struggle to free his nation and accomplish his dream of having a government that recognize the rights and freedoms of all people regardless of the color of their skin. Okay, so here we have explained. Basically आपको क्या explain करना है कि a person who doesn't give up on his dreams is a winner. Nelson Mandela is a winner because he didn't give up on his dreams. His dream was to see a apartheid free, discrimination free society and form a new government, and because he didn't give up, he was able to accomplish that. So आप कुछ भी लिख दो, आप अगर discrimination के बारे में लिख रहे हो, आप सिर्फ उसके बारे में लिखो, या look at the second answer. Against all odds and after a long struggle, Nelson Mandela liberated his countrymen from social evils that plagued his country like poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and racial discrimination. He proved to the world that winning comes from consistent and undying dedication towards your goal. Okay. Lastly, another option for how you can write an answer. Nelson Mandela dreamt to rid his country of apartheid, a system of racial segregation that existed in South Africa. Through his constant and untiring efforts, Nelson Mandela finally made this once unfathomable dream a reality. He proved that if one does not give up, their dreams can come true, making him a real winner. Okay? तो इसमें आपको जितनी vocabulary आती है उतनी ही ऐड करना. ज़्यादा untiring means बिना untiring effort, मतलब ऐसे efforts करना कि आप बंद ही नहीं हो रहे हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. Okay? Not stopping, just trying and trying and trying and trying. Oh, if the tale of Custer the Dragon is written in the form of a ballad. Okay? Alright. You will never write in points. आप देख रहे हो इसमें? This is not one answer. These are 3 answers. Please. This is 3 different kinds of answers that I have given you. This is not one answer. You will not write in points. 40 to 50 words का एक answer लिखना है. Do not write it in points. Write it in a paragraph form. Okay? Vidisha, it's okay. You will, went through the session with me, right? You'll start gaining more confidence slowly. We will do more sessions. Don't worry. बहुत back-to-back sessions आने वाले हैं. ठीक है. No points in paras. These are 3 different answers. 3 possible answers. Okay. कैलाश टिप्स आर, आपको जो पहले स्टोरी के बारे में पता है वो याद कर लो जल्दी से. इसमें मुझे पता है नेल्सन मंडेला के ड्रीम्स क्या थे. ओके, अपार्थाइड हटानी है, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हटानी है, ओके, और नई गवर्नमेंट बनानी है. ये नेल्सन मंडेला के ड्रीम्स थे. ये मेरे को याद आ गया. उसके बाद क्या है? विनर इज अ ड्रीमर हु नेवर गिव्स अप. इज नेल्सन मंडेला विनर? यस. क्यों? बिकॉज डिड ही फाइनली अचीव हिज ड्रीम? यस. डिड ही गिव अप? नो. सो इन सब चीज़ों को मैं एक छोटे से आंसर में डाल दूंगी अच्छे से लॉजिकली, एंड आई विल राइट एन आंसर. अनफैथमेबल मतलब जो आप पहले अनइमेजिनेबल था, जो आपको लगा कि हो ही नहीं सकता, जिस बारे में मैं सोच ही नहीं सकती, वो हो गया. ठीक है. समथिंग दैट्स अनफैथमेबल इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन नॉट इवन थिंक अबाउट कि ये पॉसिबल हो सकता है. ओके अंशुल, वी आर ऑलमोस्ट डन. ठीक है, ज्यादा देर और नहीं है. इसमें जल्दी से देख लेते हैं आंसर्स. ठीक है. गिव 2 reasons to support the opinion that Anne's diary is interesting to readers. So what I'll do is, instead of reading the answers out for you, I will quickly explain कि आपको आंसर में क्या क्या include करना है. What you will do, you will come back to this part. You can pause and you can read how the answer is written. Okay. Now 2 reasons to support the opinion that Anne's diary is interesting. You will say कि Anne was a 13-year-old girl. Her diary gave people insights on what happened during the Holocaust when the Nazis, basically it gives insights about what the Nazis did, and instead of giving facts and figures, it gives us an actual emotional real account which we can relate to better. Okay, so it's a very personal account that somebody has shared, which makes the tragedy even more real to us. That's why it's so interesting and insightful. Okay, तो आप ऐसे आंसर लिखोगे. I've written an answer down for you. Come back, pause and read this. We won't waste time reading the answer fully right now. Okay, moving on. What does fog tell us about the speaker's relationship with nature? Support your answer with an example. So in the poem, बहुत short सी poem है, उसमें हमें पता है कि first fog is compared to little cat feet. Okay, so the poet first compares it to a cat, then talks about how it moves on its all fours, sits on its haunches. So we can tell that the speaker is very, obviously the speaker loves nature, the speaker is very observant, and he has a different lens altogether, a different way of looking at nature, which, and the way he's written about it, makes something so boring like fog. Fog might be a very boring phenomenon for a lot of people. So it makes something like fog seem lively and interesting to people. Okay, that's what you will write in this answer. So I've written down the answer. These are 2 separate answers. So you can pause here and take a look at this later. ठीक है? Hansi, you have to know the poets and authors' names क्योंकि question आ सकता है, तो आप याद कर लो. ठीक है? क्या question था? Correct, Prancho. I agree with you completely. It's actually very hard to write shorter answers क्योंकि आपका मन करता है कि आप इतना कुछ लिख लो. विष्णु खत्म होने वाला है अब क्या ब्रेक? ये आप वापस आके पढ़ लेना, ठीक है? तो हाँ, I agree with you. It's harder to write shorter answers. And किसका हैप्पी बर्थडे? कौन बोल रहा है बार-बार मेरे को बर्थडे विश कर दो? हैप्पी बर्थडे आपको. ठीक है. How do we know that bakers are an integral part of Goan society? Answer is right here. They're known as बेकर्स को क्या बोल रहे थे उसमें, पार्डर्स बोलते थे. एंड देर एन इंटेग्रल पार्ट ऑफ गोवन सोसाइटी बिकॉज दे वर पार्ट ऑफ ऑल द फेस्टिविटीज एंड फंक्शंस. जब भी कुछ ज़रूरी होता था तो ब्रेड used to definitely be a part of it, which is why Paders became an important part of Goan society. So you can read the answer over here. You can figure out how to write an answer essay. पॉइंट्स में मत लिखो. अगेन मेरे को बार बार ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, अनीता ने भी अभी पूछा है, पॉइंट्स में नहीं लिखना है क्योंकि अगर आप कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो ये देख के तो ये पॉइंट्स नहीं है, ये 2 सेपरेट आंसर्स हैं, ये पॉइंट्स नहीं है. पॉइंट्स में मत लिखना, पैराग्राफ में ही लिखना है आंसर्स. ठीक है. नाउ explain why the author describes Kurk as a piece of heaven that must have drifted from a kingdom of God. इसमें कुछ नहीं है, आपको बस कुर्क की सुंदरता डिस्क्राइब करनी है जो आपको चैप्टर में दी गई है ना. तो ये रहा आंसर, ये पढ़ लेना. तो क्या क्या बोलोगे, एवरग्रीन रेन फॉरेस्ट है, कॉफी प्लांटेशंस हैं, सीनिक ब्यूटी है, हिल्स हैं, वेदर अच्छा है, लोग अच्छे हैं, बहुत तरीके के जानवर पाए जाते हैं उधर. या यू अरे आपको वर्ड लिमिट दिया गया है, ये तो वर्ड लिमिट से ऊपर जा रहा है आंसर जो भी आपकी स्क्रीन पे है. 40 to 50 वर्ड्स में आपको आंसर लिखना है, 3 मार्क्स का आंसर है. इतने सारे बर्थडे, किस किस के बर्थडे आ रहे हैं? ओके ठीक है. Next, how did Matilda's belief that she was in error of destiny result in a lifetime of sorrow? Matilda को लगता था that she deserves all the luxuries in the world, due to which, even though they couldn't afford, she wanted to borrow a necklace. वो इतना expensive necklace था, उसको घुमा दिया, घुमाने के बाद उनको जिंदगी भर लग गया उसका डेट रीपे करने को. एंड में पता चलता है कि उसकी वैल्यू इतनी थी भी नहीं जितनी उनको लगी. लेकिन because of these endless desires and wants and wanting to have all these luxuries in the world and not appreciating what you already have, Matilda set her up for more grief and sorrow. Set herself up and her husband up for more grief and sorrow. So these are 2 answers written here. You can read them and figure out how to write answers for your exam. पूर्वा, सारा अनसीन पैसेज हम तो कर बैठे. हमने कितने टाइम पहले ये सेशन शुरू किया था, वो सब कुछ हो चुका है. 11:15 से हम सेशन में हैं. Okay, next, moving on. The तहसीलदार was an agent of change in Bholi's life. Justify. तहसीलदार के कहने पर Bholi's father had to send one of his daughters. They chose to send Bholi because वैसे भी भोली की शादी तो होने नहीं वाली थी. भोली going to school changed Bholi's life because it gave her education, confidence, role models that she could eventually stand up for herself and stand up against all the evils that plagued her society. So that's how the Tehsildar was an agent of change in Bholi's life. It was because of him that Bholi went to school. This is how you can write the answers. There are 2 answers given on your screen. You can read them. Come back and read them later, okay? ठीक है. Aditya, if you want to write a reaction of a teenage boy or a girl on the idea of being loved for one's appearance or the things one represents or possess, give a reason. So first you have to decide, would you feel happy about it? Would you feel bad about it? Do you want to be like Anne Gregory, who wants to be appreciated for her inner beauty, or are you okay with being liked for your outer appearance, which might change anytime? ठीक है? वासु, ग्रामर में आपको सिर्फ सबके रूल्स पता होने चाहिए. हम लोग बहुत बारी कर चुके हैं. हम करेंगे एग्जाम से एक वीक पहले भी. We're going to have back-to-back sessions where we will do all of these revisions. We will go over all the rules once again, so you don't have to worry. ठीक है? Kanchan, we've already discussed these tips. Go back to the beginning of this session. Based on the book that saved the earth, state how jumping to conclusions had an unintended consequence for the Martians. So, these are two separate answers. Again, it's not the same answer, two separate answers. दो स्टाइल दिखाएं आपको कि आप कैसे कैसे लिख सकते हो आंसर्स. क्या किया मार्शियंस ने? उन्होंने सोचा अर्थ का तो क्या, इट्स जस्ट अ प्रिमिटिव बॉल ऑफ मड, वी कैन इन्वेड अर्थ. एंड अप इन अ लाइब्रेरी. वहाँ पे उनको पता नहीं होता बुक्स क्या होती है. वो गैस मारते रहते कि बुक्स तो ये है, बुक्स तो वो है. फाइनली वो पढ़ लेते हैं नर्सरी राइम. हमटी टमटी को पढ़ के उनको लगता है ये तो थिंक टैंक को अटैक करना चाहते हैं. एंड दे गिव अप देयर आइडिया ऑफ इन्वेडिंग अर्थ. दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस. इसी को आपको अच्छे से आंसर में लिखना है. Here are two possible answers given for you. Please take a look at them. You can come back and pause. All right? ठीक है. Now we have reached long answers. See, we have only few more answers to go. Bear with me. We will complete this session abhi jaldi jaldi. इसमें भी I'm just going to tell you what all you have to include in your answer. Then I will show you the answer. You can take a look at it. Okay? पूर्वा, मेरे एक्सपीरियंस में अगर क्वेश्चन बहुत डिटेल्ड है, if it's asking you something like over here, compare and contrast what Anne from the poem Anne Gregory would look for in a life partner as compared to Natalia from the proposal. Already you have so much to write कि आप अपनी 120 वर्ड लिमिट भी easily exceed कर सकते हो. आप इसमें 200 वर्ड्स भी लिख सकते हो. तो इसमें अगर आप टाइम वेस्ट करोगे कैरेक्टर स्केच बनाने में या ये बताने में कि ऑथर कौन है, then you're just not giving yourself enough words to answer the actual question. So that's not necessary. You don't have to do that. Okay? उससे आपको कोई एक्स्ट्रा मार्क्स नहीं मिल रहे. आदित्य, आपका मैंने आंसर तो कर दिया. Do first you pick for or against. Pick if you would like to be loved for your appearance, or do you want to be loved for your inner self, for who you are on the inside. Then depending upon that, give a reaction. ठीक है? So here हम लोग Anne को compare कर रहे हैं और Natalia को compare कर रहे हैं. So Anne obviously is somebody who believes in inner beauty. She keeps talking about how things like the color of my hair can keep changing. Beauty is not permanent. It'll keep changing. I'd rather have someone who loves me for who I am on the inside. And next we have Natalia, who seems to approach the who wants to marry a man who can give her more money, who can help her climb up the social ladder. And even though she didn't get along with Lomov and they kept fighting about everything, she ultimately wanted to marry him for economic reasons. So they are opposites in that Anne wants somebody who loves her for who she is, whereas Natalia wants to marry somebody just to get material things or be more comfortable in life. Okay? So here's the answer. This is how you can write it. Aditya, you keep sending me this. मैं आपको already answer कर चुकी हूँ. एक एक example देना है आपको. You have to give one example from the text. The question is telling you. So Anne का you can say how she talks about the color of her hair and how it can keep changing and it doesn't matter, but it's who she is on the inside that matters. Whereas Natalia, even though she got into so many fights with Lomov, still agrees to marry him for economic reasons. Okay? ठीक है. Next, setting of a story of or a poem can enhance its plot. Dust of Snow and Thief from Assam को use करके. तो इसमें आपको कुछ नहीं, ये आंसर है, ये पढ़ लेना बाद में. आपको ये बताना है कि सेटिंग क्या होती है. सेटिंग वेयर प्ले इज सेट, द लोकेशन ऑफ वेयर समथिंग इज हैपनिंग. तो इट कैन have hidden meanings. It can tell you more about the character's feelings. It can tell you more about what the poet is trying to express. For example, in Dust of Snow, you have crow, you have the hemlock tree. All of these are what? Negative symbols, inauspicious, negative omens, and all of these actually end up having a positive effect on the poet, which is also ironical. So in Dust of Snow, the setting helps communicate that even these negative things, the things that we associate with Inauspicious stereotypes can also have a positive impact. Whereas in Tea from Assam, we see this vast setting of tea estates in Assam. It's in direct contrast from what it was like in the city, and all of this gets Rajvi really excited because this is something very new for him. So in both of these, the setting tells us more about the character, tells us more about the plot, tells us more about the location, and it helps us imagine where the story is taking place or how the poem is panning out. Okay? So Sammy, there are a lot of references in the play about how, even at first, the Chubukov was very happy that Lomov has come to ask for her daughter's hand in marriage. So it can be inferred that it's a very suitable match for them. It's something that is going to benefit them, because they're not the kind of people who will marry into a place where they're not getting a benefit. Because you can see how Natalia is constantly arguing about everything, about the ownership of that disputed property and all of that, right? Okay. Next question, based on a triumph of surgery, state how Mrs. Pumphrey did more than harm. So this आपको पता ही है already कि वो खिलाती रहती थी ट्रिकी को, जो treats उसको चाहिए, जो खाना है, उसको pamper कर करके इतना unhealthy बना दिया कि उसकी तबीयत ही खराब हो गई. So her intentions weren't bad. It's not that she intentionally wanted to harm Tricky, but it's just that she couldn't control herself. She gave in to मतलब Tricky इतना cute लग रहा है, and she couldn't. There are a lot of people do this. You can see this in real life also. People around you कि इतनी प्यारी शक्ल बना रहे हैं कि मन पिघल जाता है. तो वो मन ही नहीं पिघलाना होता sometimes, because that can cause harm to the pet as well. Okay, Devesh, which question did you not understand? This question, how did Mrs. Pumphrey's behavior do more harm than good? Tell me which question you didn't understand. Last question was setting क्या होता है? See, why do we have a setting in a story? A lot of times setting is important. जैसे आप कोई हॉरर स्टोरी पढ़ोगे तो उसका सेटिंग कभी भी कोई बहुत हैप्पी जगह तो नहीं होगी. यूजुअली इट विल बी, मतलब कहाँ पे हो रहे हैं चीज़ें, सुनसान जगह में हो रही है. हॉन्टेड हाउस कहाँ होता है? सुनसान जगह में होता है, जंगल के बीच में होता है ना. एंड वैसे ही अगर आप कोई और टाइप की स्टोरी पढ़ोगे, फॉर एग्जांपल सम कॉमेडी, तो आप यूजुअली देखोगे कॉमेडी की सेटिंग ऐसी होती है जहाँ पे लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स कैन गो रॉन्ग. जैसे कोई इवेंट हो रहा है, ठीक है, कोई शादी हो रही है और शादी में एक के बाद एक कोई गड़बड़ हो रही है, तो सेटिंग हेल्प्स अस take the plot forward. It's because of the setting that we are able to do the to justice to the plot. So similarly, if you look over here, Dust of Snow mein, the essence of the poem is that the poet is having a bad day, so he comes and he sits down. Now in the beginning when you read the poem, you'll say, अच्छा ये तो एक hemlock tree के नीचे बैठ गया है, कौवा है उधर, कौवा और hemlock tree, all of these are negative symbols. So you will think setting को देखे कि वो something bad is going to happen. But ironically, the poet says that this little incident where the crow shook some snow from a hemlock tree actually made my day better. Okay, so here setting is helping us understand that irony. Similarly, in Tea from Assam, the setting is helping us understand where it's all taking place. In fact, Glimpses of India में पूरे में setting बहुत important है. कूर्ग भी जब हम describe करते हैं तो setting ही देखते हैं कि कितनी सुंदर है, right? So that is the meaning of setting. That's why setting is important. Okay, so now ये question I've already answered. Here is the answer. You know कि वो खिलाती रहती थी ट्रिकी को, इसीलिए. All right. Describe the twist in the plot in The Midnight Visitor. Analyze how Fowler's opinion of Ossible must have undergone a change after the plot twist. What happened over here? Devesh, you had to explain how the location or the surrounding actually takes the story forward, tells us more about the characters, tells us more about the plot. Okay? All right. Now here, what is the twist? The twist is that जब knock होता है दरवाजे पे तो it's not the police, it's actually a waiter. And जो मैक्स को ऑसिबल झूठ बोलता है कि विंडो के बाहर बालकनी है, there is no balcony there. And Ossible is, through his intelligence, able to escape a dangerous situation. How does that change Fowler's opinion? Fowler को शुरू में क्या लगता है कि Ossible is not like any other secret agent that he's ever seen. He's seen movies में, novels में कि वो तो बहुत fit होते हैं, cool होते हैं और you know there are like car chases happening और बहुत interesting चीज़ें हो रही होती है spies के साथ, लेकिन Ossible के साथ तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. लेकिन उसके बाद after witnessing this incident and how Ossible was able to get out of a dangerous situation using his brain, Fowler's opinion changes and he's realizes that looks can be deceptive and the first impression is not the last impression. Okay, this is what you have to write in this answer. Here is the answer given for you. You can take a look at it. Susan, for 6 marks, basically you will get up. Even as I was writing these answers, I realized कि 100 and 120 words बहुत easily हो जाते हैं just by answering the question. So you have to include what the question is asking exactly. Like over here, it's asking you 2 things. What are those 2 things? कि plot twist का क्या था? So in this paragraph, we have explained कि plot twist exactly क्या था. प्लॉट ट्विस्ट समझाने के लिए आप स्टोरी के शुरू से स्टार्ट मत करना कि फाउलर और ऑसिबल कहीं जा रहे थे, फाउलर वाज फॉलोइंग ऑसिबल, ऑसिबल अपने होटल रूम में था, एकदम से नो यू डोंट मैक्स वहाँ पे उन्होंने देखा कि ऑलरेडी वहाँ पे होटल रूम के अंदर कोई था, वो मैक्स था. ये सब एक्सप्लेन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप सीधा पॉइंट पे आओ, प्लॉट ट्विस्ट समझा दो. ये कुछ अराउंड 40 वर्ड्स में हमने समझा दिया है. उसके बाद you have to talk about the second thing is analyze how Fowler's opinion of Ossible must have undergone a change. Then we have explained all of that. So usually whatever the question is asking will give you enough to write a 100 to 120 word answer. You don't have to add much else from the story. If you feel like आपके words enough नहीं हो रहे तो आप थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे डाल सकते हो कि story में क्या हुआ था. Okay? If you make many grammatical errors, then marks will be deducted. If you make ek do and then really don't affect the answer that you've written, then marks won't be deducted. See, आप कोई भी tense में answer लिखोगे, just follow the same tense throughout. Okay? So if you are writing it in simple past tense, तो पूरा simple past में लिख दो. अगर simple present में लिख रहे हो तो पूरा simple present में लिखो. Okay? Plot twist is जो एकदम से कहानी में twist नहीं आता कि something is happening and then suddenly something that you did not expect happens. That is a plot twist. Okay? Yes, Ankita, it will give you an idea of what your exam is going to be like. Similar difficulty के questions ही आएंगे. That's why it's important. This was our last question. So if you have any doubts, now is your time to ask. I know you're all hungry, so we can wrap up. विष्णु, points नहीं होता कि हर आंसर में आपको 4 पॉइंट 5 पॉइंट ही लिखने. जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है अगर आप वो आंसर कर रहे हो, then you are doing enough. We are doing Nidhi, we will do English revision. In fact, आपका बोर्ड से एक हफ्ते पहले we are going to do back-to-back English revision. So don't worry, next week every day we'll have a session, okay? See, हम लोग ने we finished this 3 hours में, and in this we answered all the extra questions also. बीच में we wasted a lot of time also इधर उधर की बातें करते हुए. So obviously you can finish your exam in 3 hours easily. Purva, see, vocabulary is not the only thing that you will be tested on in an unseen passage. You will have many different kinds of questions. So don't worry about the vocabulary. If there's a word you don't understand, then if there is no question being asked about it, you don't have to worry about it. अगर उस पे question ही नहीं पूछा तो क्या problem है? अगर by chance उसमें question पूछ लिया, then I've told you many times, you read the entire paragraph and you will be able to guess the meaning of the word. Okay? See, it hasn't been specified if Max died or got injured. Anything could have happened. We don't know. So whatever you write works. It's fine. The diary entry is not even a very difficult thing. It's very easy to write, so you don't have to spend so much time thinking about it, but you should know the basics of what the format is and how to write it, okay? अगर एक क्वेश्चंस 2 चैप्टर से हैं तो मैंने आपको बताया, तो अभी वी डिड दैट क्वेश्चन विद नटालिया एंड वी डिड एंड ग्रेगरी ना, तो दोनों को एनालाइज कर लिया अलग अलग. उसमें क्या है, आप बोलो इन this chapter so and so character does this. The question will tell you what to do. Question asked you in उसमें to compare and contrast and what Anne would look for in a life partner and what Natalia would look for in a life partner. So the question will tell you exactly what to do. Just understand the question. Okay? We'll do all of this revision next week, Jay. Hardik, see, you cannot learn all the important vocabulary in a day. It's not possible. And you cannot know कि कौन सा unseen passage आएगा जिसमें ये word आ सकता है. There's no way of knowing. So, like I told you, instead of focusing on learning new words, you figure out how to guess the meaning from context, which we have done multiple times. Okay, so you will be able to do it. Don't worry. No, we cannot write answers in points. Please don't write answers in points. Always write them in paragraphs. ठीक है? All right, chalo jao, lunch karo sab. That was a very good session with all of you. I hope that clarified a lot of things. If you still have doubts, again, I'm telling you, don't worry. We'll keep meeting before your exam and you're all going to ace it. Nothing to worry about, okay? Nidhi, we are doing it next week. So similar level ही होगा हर एग्जाम का. See, you are at a particular level. उससे ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे नहीं होगा. थोड़ा सा ऊपर थोड़ा सा ही नीचे हो सकता है. इतना मत सोचो, इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में मत सोचो. आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर है, ग्रामर आपको आती है. अनसीन पैसेज में सी यू डोंट हैव कंट्रोल ओवर क्या वोकैबुलरी आएगी. यू डोंट हैव कंट्रोल ओवर दोज थिंग्स. व्हाट डू यू हैव कंट्रोल ओवर? हाउ टू आंसर द क्वेश्चंस. दोज टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. Take a look at those tips and tricks. If not, we can discuss them again next week. Nothing to worry about. Number one thing is not to panic. Be calm. Chill करो थोड़ा सा. आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, बहुत अच्छे से कर रहे हो, and you will get the results of this पढ़ाई soon. जब आप देखोगे कि आपके एग्जाम्स कितने अच्छे हुए हैं. And there are things that are beyond our control. So don't worry about those things. Okay? टेंशन नहीं लेनी है. जब आप फ्री माइंड से अच्छे से खुशी खुशी एग्जाम दोगे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा. ओके? और जब आप फ्री माइंड से बिना टेंशन के पढ़ाई करोगे तो ज़्यादा अच्छी पढ़ाई होगी. ओके? ठीक है. I will see you again. I'll keep seeing you. Don't worry. Before I say goodbye, just subscribe. ठीक है? सब्सक्राइब करोगे तो आपको सारे वो मिलते रहेंगे अपडेट्स. यू वोंट मिस आउट ऑन एनी ऑफ द सेशंस. दोज ऑफ यू मिस्ड आउट ऑन द पोएटिक डिवाइसेस सेशंस और वो आज मुझसे पूछ रहे थे कि अलिट्रेशन क्या होता है, मेटाफर क्या होता है, ये आएगा वो आएगा. अब जाके वो सेशन देख लो whenever you have the time. That session will explain all these poetic devices and किस पोएम में कौन सा डिवाइस आ रहा है ये भी आपको पता चल जाएगा. ओके? ठीक है. ऐसा कोई देयर इज नो फॉर्मूला कि इतने दिन इतने घंटे बिताने आपको. डिपेंड्स एंटायरली ऑन यू. आप कितना कॉन्फिडेंट फील कर रहे हो. इफ यू फील लाइक you need to study something a bit more, take time out to study a bit more. Okay? But there is no formula that I can tell you कि आप इतने घंटे पढ़ोगे तो ये हो जाएगा उतने घंटे. That's everyone is different. Okay? All right, take care. Go, have lunch. I will see you soon. Bye bye.